This is the Balcony Life Podcast. Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. Episode 2, we made it through somehow. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how either, but we did it.
Let's clap it up for episode 2. Episode 2. We somehow survived the first episode, and we made it to the second one, which means that somebody out there likes this. I don't know who, but somebody does.
We do.
We do.
We wouldn't be doing it.
We may be our only 3 listeners. All right. So, welcome back, the Balcony Life Podcast. We got us 3 here. We kind of, after we went through the first episode the last time, we sort of realized that we didn't really introduce ourselves at all. I mean, we sort of did a little bit, but it wasn't very, very in depth. So, I'm JP. I am joined by my wife, Amanda.
Hello.
And our good friend, Lori.
Hello.
So, we are here to do it up again for another round. We're going to keep the same format. I think it worked pretty well last time. We're going to just get right into it. Let's go right into our topics that we have here for this week. The first one that I have here is the Balcony Life story, right?
Yes.
So we call this thing the Balcony Life Podcast, right? And people are probably like, what the heck is Balcony Life? Like,
it's awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome. Like, it's not something that you can duplicate, I feel like. There may be people out there trying to do it, but it just ain't right. Like, it's not the same thing that we're doing.
And it doesn't mean that you have to have a balcony. You could have a porch.
Yeah.
You could have a sunroom. You could have a screened-in room. It's just hanging out. There's
different settings for this. Like, I feel like you can set this shop up anywhere, where you have an appropriate place to do it. So what we did, me and Amanda used to live in an apartment back in the day, and it had a balcony on it, and we used to chill out there a lot. We'd be out there. We'd have friends over. We'd just be hanging out. It just became, like, really comfy, I feel like. It was, like, cozy.
It was, and we always like, all right, who's coming over for Balcony Life? And
Yeah, we would just, like, see, like, yo, who's around, who's coming over? We'd have people join us. We'd be out there, having a drink, having a cigar, like, whatever, just shooting the shit like we're doing right now, basically. I mean, it's kind of how it came about. So Balcony Life, like, that's sort of how I thought of the whole thing. Like, I'm like, let's call it that, So it's like
it's perfect because
it's like a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
It's our lifestyle.
Right. So Balcony Life. Here we are. I also do a blog. I've been doing that for, like, I don't even know, since 2016-ish or so. I think. I call it the Balcony Life blog. You can check that out. It's all over the internet. You can find it easily. Just type in Balcony Life blog. All I do on there is pretty much just review rap albums. Like, all these new rappity raps, all the new rap albums that come out. I just go and I write reviews. Unless they suck. Like, if the album is terrible, I'm not even listening to it. So, be warned.
How do you know it's terrible until you listen to it?
Some people you can just tell right off the bat. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if
that was going to be my question too. How do you know before even actually listening to it that you know that it sucks?
Sometimes you can tell just by the name, I feel like, of the rapper.
I don't know. Sometimes. There's some rappers that I'm like, I don't know. How do you even pronounce the name with the letters, the numbers? And then it's like, until you hear it. Obviously, last week I called Money Long Mooney Long because God knows. But there's so many different.
That's like the new thing, though. I feel like these artists, they try to change their name so that it doesn't show up, like, in the Google search. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like for money, right? Instead of putting, like, M-O-N-E-Y, it's M-U-N-I, just so you can find it.
Or a $sign for the E.
Right. Or they take out, I've seen, like, a lot of them, like, take out the vowel and they put, like, an X in there instead.
Or A is a 4.
Right. Yeah, just so you can find it on Google. That's, like, the way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the way that our society is now.
Yeah. Like, if you're ever going to be a rapper, just don't call yourself the. Because you're not going to find it.
Young something.
Oh, yeah, it's always young.
Too many youngs, too many little.
Too many babies.
Yeah, little this, young
Little
this.
baby young. Is there a little baby young out there?
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's probably 7 of them.
With a whole bunch of numbers instead of letters.
I'm sure there is. There's probably a whole bunch of them.
That should be a don't hate, congratulate, because they're making money.
True.
I mean, they are, but like, all right. For instance, if I see a rapper named, and this is a real rapper, Pregnant Boy, right? Pregnant Boy. I'm not listening to that album. I'm just like, yo, like, I can already tell, like, it's gonna be like horrible. It's gonna be down south trap beats that are just like whack, like.
Somebody likes that.
I was gonna say, this is your opinion and only your opinion.
Somebody likes that, and somebody might get
like.
Everyone has their own opinion.
Because he's pregnant with raps.
Yeah, there's like, right? I don't know. I'm trying to think of another one. Young Nudie or something. I think that's another one. Like, I'm not listening to that.
Like, he likes to rap in the nude.
he's a nudist colony rapper, I guess.
There you go.
Young Nudie or whatever. Like, it's something like that. Little Nudie or whatever.
Right.
Some of them. I feel like you can just tell just by the name.
Well, if it was Little Baby Nudie, yeah, maybe don't want to listen to that. You're gonna end up on a watch list after that. Yeah. Or like you're gonna be legally not allowed to hand out candy. Right. So okay, all right. What else do we got going on here? Another topic that we came up with this week. Football is back. So woo!
Let's clap it up for football. Clap it up.
Woohoo!
And NFL is back in full swing.
Obviously from last night's game.
Yeah. So when we're recording this here, this is Friday, I guess, right before the Eagles-Packers game. We're getting all hyped for the Eagles. We saw we saw Baltimore and Kansas City last night. I definitely see
was that it the NFL game or was it Taylor Swift? NFLers.
It was the Eras Tour KC
Swifties.
edition.
Oh my!
Yeah, like that's what it feels like. The refs are just like in the pocket for Kansas City. It's unreal.
Well, she made all the plays. Maybe
she calls the plays.
Maybe
from up in the box there. She's calling the plays, I think.
I did not see the second half, so...
Supposedly she was spewed all over the glass. They said there were so many finger marks on the glass because she was just...
Oh, my goodness.
All over it.
I hope she cleaned it afterwards.
Yeah, true.
Maybe she licked it. No.
Hey, they're getting their ratings, though. I mean, that's what they want. And now for some reason, we have Friday night football. Like, the NFL is just trying to take over every day of the week.
Well, weren't they doing tonight because it's supposed to be Sunday night football, but it's the Friday edition because it's down in Brazil?
Yeah, I think it's because of, like, the time difference or something.
Right.
I don't know, but I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either way, Friday night football, what? It's not for children anymore.
It's unreal. They have Monday night. They got Friday nights now. We got Thursday nights. They're going to have Tuesday morning pretty soon. Like, we're just going to all have to stop working on a Tuesday morning because it's Tuesday morning NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, they want it every time. Like, it's unreal.
I think I'll be okay with that.
I'd be happy with one game a night, you know? You don't have to. Night. You can watch every game then. Well, maybe not streaming, obviously.
The rest of the world just kind of stops, and we'll just have NFL like every day.
Right.
That's all it's going to be, really.
That's how football is overseas. Soccer, football.
Yeah, football. Football.
All the time. I know people that take off of work, and they're up in Harrisburg at the local place up there that people watch the soccer stuff up there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm at work, 9 o'clock in the morning, they're having a beer, watching football.
Yeah. It's a whole culture. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. Like, I mean, I know it's big in America. Like, there are a lot of, like, soccer fans, like, here. But I feel like it's not like the rest of the world. The rest of the world, like, is heavy into that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's their NFL.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's their version of it. So, like, I never really got into soccer like that heavy. Definitely not my cup of tea, I guess. I'd rather watch NFL, but hey, I mean, whatever.
Well, now they're trying to move the NFL overseas and see what money they can make off of that. Hopefully get another big city to buy into some teams and have more international football. So
I
don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do, but
that'll be real interesting. I feel like seeing like like teams like over in like England or whatever. All of Western Europe. I feel like getting that involved, even like down into South America, like they're doing, like trying to just spread it everywhere.
But I feel like their teams, like for comparable, obviously soccer, but like rugby is considered a little bit, but man, it's rough. It's rough watching.
Rough game.
Obviously, we have helmets. Those guys don't. It's holy moly.
Yeah, rugby is hardcore. I remember like in college, back in college, in my younger days, used to party with a bunch of, all my friends and stuff, partying with the girls that played rugby. I've never seen like a more hardcore group. Like they were hardcore about everything. Like it wouldn't even matter. They would just pick up like a keg and just poke a hole in it with their finger and then just chug it right out of the keg.
I was gonna say take a keg and walk it into a pond.
or that too.
I don't know. I don't know who would have done that.
No idea.
No idea either.
Yeah, but like, oh my God, just wild. Always wanting to drink too, like just constantly from the moment they woke up till they went to bed. Hardcore. That's a hardcore group there. So one of the things we were kind of talking about, for a topic is like sports superstitions. What do you do during the season for your team? Are you only cooking certain types of things? Are you only wearing certain things? Are you avoiding wearing something because of the superstition?
Yes. Mine is I do not wear Eagles on game day. I will wear it the next day, the day before, any other day. I do not wear it on game day.
Like to celebrate the win.
Because I feel like when I wear my Eagles stuff on game day, they do horrible.
So you're trying to like humble the superstition that so you're kind of obviously doing opposite, but it's more of like a humble, like I'm not boasting that they're gonna win. I'm not like putting it.
Yeah, and then the next day when they have one, heck yeah, I have my Eagles gear on and be like, yeah.
You're taking the pressure off the team, is what you're trying to do.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're making it easier for them to get a win.
Right, and I'm telling you, it's true because that last Super Bowl that we were in, the whole season I did not wear Eagles on game day. Super Bowl, I wore it. And we lost.
All right, so y'all heard it here first.
It was me.
It's up to Amanda. The Eagles' fate is in her hands, single-handedly. I'll make sure that we get the apparel right. I remember the one season way back where it was like I felt like if I watched a game, they would lose.
That's true. Yeah. It was very true. That season did happen.
Yeah.
And yes, I told you not to watch.
It was weird. Like that season, I was working on Sundays, so I missed a lot of the games, like the 1 and 4. So any that I would not watch, they would win. They would end up winning. But then if I watched the game, if it was like a Monday night game or something, they would end up losing. So like that season was my fault. My bad.
Yeah, and you used to get so mad at me when I would say that to you, like, don't watch.
Yeah, like
it's not me.
I started like taking it personally. Like I started like thinking it was me. Like I really like was thinking like the superstition's real. Like,
but can you imagine how many fans feel this way? And there's millions and millions of fans, so like everybody's heart is heavy when their team plays.
That's true. Yeah,
I know Penn State. Obviously, every time they played Ohio State, Michigan. All the big teams, and I would watch, they would lose.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I won't watch. There were certain times they won, but now I figure, well, I'm still going to watch because 9 times out of 10, Penn State's going to lose because it's Ohio State and it's Michigan. So,
I understand.
I get that because, there was times when I would be out doing something and it was like, oh, crap, where am I? Oh, the game's on. And it's like, shit, they're winning. I'm not watching this. And then some guy would come up, with the Penn State, because I had my Penn State stuff on, even when I wasn't watching the game.
Yeah.
I always have to wear Penn State that day.
Oh, yeah.
Full on blue, white, every
Everything.
Everything.
Okay,
Top to bottom.
See?
Top to bottom.
That's fine.
But then
my dad feels that way too, not wearing Penn State top to bottom.
Yeah.
But he also feels like he loves watching MLB.
Oh, yeah.
And he will sit there and he'll be watching a game, and if they start doing bad, he'll flip the channel and watch something else. And then he flips back and they did good. He goes, see, they do better when I'm not watching.
Right.
That is true.
But then you have FOMO because you're like, darn it, I didn't see what they did. Now I have to go back and watch the...
My dad tapes all the games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially Penn State.
Right.
And if they win, he will go back and watch it.
Nice.
If
they lose, it's not worth it.
Right, and he'll just delete it. And with his baseball games, when he records it, and then he plays it, like he'll rewind it or fast forward to just where they're scoring to see how they scored.
Okay, no, hey, whatever.
Fastens up the game for him, but yeah, so see, my dad's superstitious, even though he won't say that. That's what it is.
Here's the thing, then you gotta wonder if multiple people have this, a superstition thing, you know what I mean? Like, if multiple people have a thing where they got to do, then you get into the thing of how complex is this thing. Like, if I don't watch and that makes them win, but then you got to add on somebody else that has to wear Eagles stuff, and then therefore that makes them win. Like, now are we working together? Like, am I working together with John Doe that lives in whatever, Northeast Philly or whatever? Like, do me and him, are both of our superstitions working together?
Well, I would hope so. And if anybody's superstitious and they do their routine, that means we're all doing our routine. So yes, we're all working together.
True. Yeah, it's like if I'm doing my part, right? Like, I did my part. But then, whatever, Jane Doe out there, didn't do her part. Like, she ate, cheesy eggs when she should have had them just scrambled regular with ketchup. Like, did that screw up the whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's Jane Doe, I did my part, and you're screwing up the game here.
So it's everybody else's fault, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. As long as I'm doing one superstition, but then, all right, what if you have superstitions that kind of go against each other? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's true.
Can you give me an example?
I'm trying to think. If I'm all right, if I don't watch, but then a previous year, I had to watch to make them win. So it's the one year I had to watch, the other year I didn't watch. It's which one of those is right?
That's me, Penn State, every single game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can wear what I want to wear. If I watch, if I don't watch. It doesn't have it's all in your mind and how you feel about it. And,
yes.
See, that's what I think of then. I go back to that, and then I'm like, all right, none of this matters. I'm just driving myself nuts over this. And then, I'm like, well, I can wear whatever I want whenever I want. If it's game day, I'm just going to wear the jersey. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'll be
celebrate
fine.
them. You got to celebrate. And,
yeah.
Right.
What you're doing is the whole wearing of the colors, I'm obviously wearing green tonight. I don't have any Eagle stuff yet.
We'll change that.
Sorry. We'll change that.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
We'll get that fixed.
But it's you're putting it out there. You have to put it out there.
Yeah.
What do they say, for the universe to receive it? So you're putting out your your fandom. And
I still wore green today.
That's
I did
true.
not wear Eagles, but I still wore green.
That's true. And also, if the superstition holds true, then you're doing the right thing then. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Because then you'll see the stadium, and it's like, oh, the stadium's full of fans that are all dressed up. So,
but today's game, the Eagles aren't even wearing green and white. They're actually wearing black and white.
Yeah.
Now the Packers,
I can't wait to see that.
The Packers are wearing the green and the yellow, but they were saying, the whole thing, and it's not proven that why they did it because of the colors for the gangs.
Oh, yeah. It's like a gang thing or something?
Or whatever. So from what I read on the news is that it wasn't necessarily for the gangs. It's because the soccer players that field is specifically for the soccer players. And what happens is when people wear the colors of the team, they trend to fight. They tend and trend to fight. So they're trying to get away from
like the
wearing
locals?
the colors. Yes. So that there's not rival teams fighting each other. So nobody's supposed to wear the colors because then you don't know who's sitting beside. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to tell who's rooting for what team.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
if you're paying attention and sitting beside somebody who's cheering for the other team, it's so obvious.
Right. Plus, they'll have a big cheese head on their head. Like, it's pretty easy to do.
Well, we're talking about soccer now.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Different football.
Yes.
Different football.
My other superstition, too, deals with you.
Oh, boy.
Because you love wearing the jerseys.
Yeah.
But I don't like him getting a jersey for a person that's active on the team right now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is a good one.
Because most of the time, he gets a jersey, that that player.
What number are you wearing?
Right now.
He's allowed to have this one on. This is Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, I got Kelsey on.
He's retired, so it's good.
Right.
I was going to say, do not have 26 on.
No. I'm safe.
He's safe. But, like, any of the other ones he's gotten, the person has gotten traded, like, right away. Right. Yeah. And I'm just like, you
have to get a veteran player for sure, or
That's why I got him Jason Kelsey.
That's true.
Like, you can have that jersey now because he's retired.
Yeah, somebody that, like, put in their time, they paid their dues and then, retired. Or like, if they spent most of their time there, I'm even okay with that.
Right. A couple years. You got to have at least, like, 5 years maybe?
Yeah, a good portion of their career.
Then again, 3 years doesn't matter crap in NFL.
Yeah, true. Or at least contributed heavily.
Yeah. So those are my superstitions.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I'm waiting on my Ron Mexico jersey. I'm hoping that comes soon. Ron Mexico. one of the best. One of the best. All right, so let's see. What else do we got going on here? We're going to dip into the news here. Let's see. What do we got going on this week in the news? Anything, anything crazy going on?
Crazy, kind of weird. I'm sure people have probably heard a little about this. It was on the news, but I don't think they really delve into it. But I like the weird news. I like to look into more stuff because especially when it's an oddity, which it's kind of an oddity, but the Russian spy whale found dead in Norway.
What?
Did you guys hear about that?
No.
So obviously, there is a white beluga whale that was rumored to be a Russian spy. It had been found off the southern Norway Bay of Risavika. Yeah, Risavika. That's what they're saying.
I've been there.
Everybody's been to Norway. So, the whale's name, they nicknamed him Valdemir.
Okay.
Not Voldemir, but Valdemir.
Okay.
And so they called him that because I guess the Norwegian name for a whale is Val, and so Valdemir for Vladimir Putin. So they were kind of meshing the names together. Gotcha. So instead of Vladimir, it's Valdemir.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So now, does the whale have one of those furry hats like they have over in Russia?
No.
Does it wear one of those?
No. Yeah. But the reason why they suspected that it was a Russian spy whale is because it was found the first time that they ever saw this whale. It was originally spotted around the coastal towns in April of 2019, interacting with fishermen and locals. They saw that he had a harness on his upper torso that actually was labeled Equipment St. Petersburg. So Russia has been known to train whales for military purposes.
That's pretty good.
Purposes.
I like that. Yeah, clap up for that. Clap it up for that.
Yeah.
Military purposes. I like that.
Oh God,
military purposes. That's actually not a whale, but anywho.
I like it.
Sure, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but yeah, so they were saying that they saw him and the fishermen were out doing their thing. This beluga whale came up and they have videos of the fishermen petting him and he responds to hand signals. So
what, like
very
gang
well
signs?
trained. Yes,
they
gang signs.
throw up gang signs to the whale?
Yes.
Yes.
They throw up the Wu-Tang.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the woo.
All right.
All the woo, and then he goes. Yeah.
I think it sounds kind of nuts that whales have uniforms. Like, I didn't know that they wore clothes. Like the
It's
harness.
a harness.
Right,
It's
but
a harness, so they think...
I'm thinking like whale suspenders. Like that's like
it kind of does look like a little suspender, but supposedly it had a mount for a camera.
Okay.
So they weren't sure what the use of the whale was, but they feel like it was for like some type of mental health type of thing. Like maybe the whale was helping people, or it could have been a spy. Could have, I guess, it can go underneath submarines, all that stuff. But if it's a friendly whale, I don't know. You're gonna see people smiling on camera, so like,
it's like an emotional support whale.
That's what they were saying. They weren't sure if it was an emotion.
So
how do you bring that on a plane?
Last week we had the emotional alligator.
Right.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I have.
We are getting through all the emotional support animals.
Sorry,
like
guys.
This.
I need support.
Hey,
I need support.
We're here to support you.
Yo, it's amazing though. I wonder, like, you know what? They probably could find some stuff though. If they slap a GoPro on top of the whale, they probably could see some stuff. I guess
Yeah, they could go underneath if it's in a dock, and that's what they were thinking. It was around the bays and stuff like that.
Yeah,
happy little whale.
Right.
Beluga whales are very, very happy when you see them. They're so cute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. But so it could definitely just be seeing what the fishermen are getting into. If underneath the boats has any type of...
they're spying on Putin's enemies.
Yeah. So, they said that there were no injuries or markings, clear cause of death at the beginning, but they ended up loading the whale onto a ship, took it back for autopsy, and the new news is that they found bullet holes all over the whale. So somebody shot it to death.
Wow.
Most likely. So they're not sure who might have done that. Obviously, if it was in Norwegian waters,
I would suspect the Norwegians.
Maybe.
I mean, especially
also, like,
if they thought it was a spy.
How many bullets does it take? Them things are huge, right? Like, I mean, you got to be sitting there emptying the clip for hours on that thing, right?
Yeah, they're about 14 foot long, 2,700 pounds.
Jeez.
So that's a huge...
It probably takes like a couple clips just to get through like the outer layer of skin, like I feel like.
Right?
Yeah.
And they put it on a truck?
Yeah, they had to load it up onto a truck because 14 foot long, 2,700 pounds.
Right? Woo-wee!
Heck yeah.
Oh my. That's crazy.
I wouldn't want to go tumbling in that truck.
No.
No.
Now, when they carry that thing, you know them signs that they put on like the trucks, like the wide load or whatever, like, do they have to put one of them signs on because they have like the whale on there?
I think it's 14 foot long if you think about it. It's probably...
It's like about the size of a room, I guess, something like that.
Yeah, but
roughly.
they're probably only about maybe 4 foot wide. It's that melon head that they have that's, probably the larger thing.
I'm thinking of like the whale that swallowed Pinocchio. Like that's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yep, that's what that
It's like just the size of a city. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, it's still pretty big, but
yeah,
they're actually related to narwhals, which are the
Isabel loves them.
Yes,
I used to love them. And
I saw that interesting fact, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yes, so they are related to narwhals, and they're very intelligent whales. They love people, and all that good stuff. So just an interesting story.
Yeah,
true. I like that. That's pretty good.
And they train them. There's an instance of them training this whale to help out with free divers overseas. So when the free divers go down, if they ended up losing any oxygen while they're down there, the whale has been able to lift the person up pretty quickly to be able to...
Wow.
It's like a rescue whale, kind of.
Yeah, and then there's that viral video of that girl that was taking a video of the whale, and her phone fell into the water. The whale went down to the bottom.
I saw that.
Yeah, and brought it back up for her.
Yo.
Yeah.
I saw that.
That's
that
crazy.
Was like, oh my God.
So here's an animal, again, like Wally, that loves people, and somebody just...
I think the whales might have the ability to take over, it sounds like.
Well,
we may be overrun by whales.
The orcas that keep hitting the sailboats overseas, damaging them.
They're trying to get rid of us.
They're trying to teach their kids how to hunt, so they're hunting people.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Hey, all the listeners, our time is limited, so enjoy your life now before the whales take you out.
Yes.
That's what we've learned here today.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Alrighty, what else do we got here? Do we have any other news stories going on? Anything else, crazy going on in the world?
There's a lot of crazy stuff. We don't have to get into all of the new news, especially with the stuff that's going on down, the school shootings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty sad, and yeah.
Prayer to all those families.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, prayers up for all of that. The school shootings are just ridiculous. Like we won't touch like super hard on that. But yeah, it's just like a shame that kind of stuff happens.
Do have to point out something that was just found out today about that was, everybody can sit there and say about the kid and obviously the father that bought the gun for him after all of that stuff, but they actually found out through family. The one aunt was putting online about how, she's going to be there for him, but now the other families of the deceased need to be 100% first and foremost. But she said she wasn't going to give up on her nephew. And that's because they released the news today that the kid was living in horrible conditions with his father.
Okay.
Neighbors would call, the
child
services all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
He would leave him and his little sister outside of the house, lock them out of the house at night. So what happened. It's horrible.
It is.
But I have a slight bit of remorse for the shooter, only because of the fact that if he was, put into a better situation, if he would have had a father, a mother that actually, looked out for him more instead of buying him a gun. Hey, here, let's get you some help because we're not doing good. So therefore, no, but hey, let's buy a gun.
Anywho, all that is so sad, and
it's
because of all this now. Our kids going through school have to do drills.
Yes.
Right.
And not just fire drills like they used to, all these other drills, which I understand why they do it. I'm just sad that we have to do it.
Yeah, it's like, why do we even have to be at that point? You know what I mean?
Remember when we were kids, it was, the earthquake and tornado drills.
Yeah, or like just the fire drill.
Keep the windows open just a little bit. So, don't close the windows because the windows will blow out. Yep. Open the windows, get underneath your desk, go into a closet, all that stuff. No, now it's lock the doors.
Yep. It's sad.
Huddle.
The active shooter drills, it's like, it's just so sad that we even have to do that.
Right.
So... I mean, we could definitely we could probably have a whole episode
100%, and we won't because everybody has their views and everybody has a right to.
So definitely prayers up to all those affected by that one and all the countless other ones that have gone on. Yeah. So, alrighty. So we're gonna move into what do we got for music this week? I know. We're kind of fresh off last week. Last week had a whole bunch of like R&B type albums. A lot of R&B dropped. Me personally, I like focusing on the rapidy raps. The rap, hip hop. That's what I'm into. That's what I like. Kind of diving into a little bit more. But I'm also pretty well versed in a lot of stuff.
So you said today that you finally you downloaded and listened to Money Long.
I did. I heard this awesome podcast last week. It's called the Balcony Life Podcast, where I was recommended the Money Long album. I listened to that. I can't get enough of it.
Yes.
It's fantastic. Every song I feel like is a hitter on there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's got some great stuff.
Yeah, the worst song on there is like maybe like above average.
Right.
It's
all listenable too. I could put that on repeat and I'm perfectly fine with it.
Oh yeah.
She's got so many good songs. Superpowers, obviously.
Oh my God. I had that on repeat the other night, like just because it was that good. I was like, unreal good. Such a good album. Definitely recommended.
Yep. So new music. I did get some time today to look at some stuff. This is an oddity, but I do listen to most of the. I do Spotify, so I have a good amount of recommended music, and
Yeah.
I think last year my thing about genres, I listened to 360 some different genres of music,
That's
which
so
is crazy, but I don't hate.
Yeah, but who knew that there were that many? Like
I try a lot of stuff, and it depends on my mood. But
yeah.
So today, like one of the first ones was, and make fun of me all you want, but Camila Cabello.
Okay,
So
I'm here for that.
She released an album, XOXO, back in the end of June.
Yeah.
But she just released a new Magic City edition, which I never, unfortunately, listened to the first album because it wasn't one of my recommendations. But this one listed 4 new songs. So some of the new songs were pretty cool, but it actually had me listen to some of the older songs.
Okay.
There was a song called Chanel Number 5.
Okay.
You will have to listen to it because it actually... She has a different, it's almost like she's more in hip hop now.
Okay.
More so than the girly,
Like got like a bounce vibe or something to it. Okay.
Yeah. So
right. I'll have to check that out.
It actually is really cool. It's a cool single.
Yeah.
If there's anything about it, it's just she has it's almost not trappish. I can't sit there and say that, but she's kind of got like a fast singing to it, which is on the edge of rapidy raps, but obviously
she's different
pop,
but yeah,
it's a cool little song. And then you have Dade County Dreaming with the City Girls.
Oh,
there's actually JT and
Is it a single? Is that what it is? Like a new single or
no? It's off the album, but it's pretty good, and it's not crazy. It's not like you're
I'll have to check that out.
Normal City Girl stuff.
Yeah, like Camila Cabello, I like her. She's fun. She's cool. I definitely enjoyed her stuff. I think she puts out some good singles. The City Girls, this is gonna sound crazy because I'm like one of them hip hop I don't want to say purists, but I definitely love more of the hardcore type acts. So for me to like the City Girls sounds crazy. I think they're fun. They're just out there having fun. I think they make music for people that want to have fun and just not worry about the world. So it's I'm here for that. I'll check it out.
Yep. And then she has Hot Uptown with Drake. Not sure if you heard that one.
Oh, I saw he was on the album, but I didn't get to hear any of it.
That was all of that thing where she was seen on his boat down in the Caribbean or down off of the island, off of Florida Islands down there.
Yeah, people were
speculating. Speculating, but they made some good music. It's Drake.
That's
cool.
Is what
it is.
Yeah, I'm definitely here for that. I'll check that out. Drake is one of the greats. I think every generation you have that person that just is one of the best of that generation. And he's to me, he's almost like the Jay-Z of that next generation there. So yeah, I'm definitely here to check that out. That's something I would definitely check out.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little. It's Drake, and then he has a little side thing called "Ugly" on it, and it's okay. But then her one other song is called "Boat," which is an acronym for "Best of All Time."
Okay, all right.
It's a sad, and I'm gonna call it a sad little ditty.
Okay,
because
no
it's a sad little ditty. I'm sure it's pretty much about her relationship with her ex. But if you have to listen to it. Only because there's a surprise bop mixed into it.
Okay.
So I know we did this the last time, but we're gonna play it just so everybody can hear it, so I can surprise them with why I think this song is pretty cool.
Let's check it out. See what this sounds like here. I wonder if that's a code. She's trying to tell Shawn Mendes yo, it's cool to bring another chick.
But whose song is that? Okay, so now we're back to recording.
Right.
Because we're gonna see if JP or Amanda can figure out what that little extra mix in was.
I can hear it in my head. Oh my god, I can hear it in my head. I just can't.
And meet me at the hotel
Pitbull.
room. Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. It took me a second.
But isn't that crazy? So it's it's a sad little ditty, like I said.
Yeah.
But then
it's hype at the same time.
Yeah. It's
that's crazy.
It's to me, it's the most interesting song off of that album, because I was sitting there listening to it and I'm like, I really kind of like the song because it has some meaning to it, and then all of a sudden it's like, what is this little and I'm like,
it's like two different moods at the same time.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm sad about you, but right in the middle.
Yeah, they get right into it.
It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's not a whole lot of songs that I'm like, to artists that I don't normally listen to, but like, I respect that.
True.
100% respect that. So
true.
Yeah. So
all right. So what else we got for new music out?
This is not going to be on your realm or your realm, but I have to put it out there because it's interesting. Maybe somebody else out there will like it. So David Guetta, Alesso, obviously EDM, because you all know I listen to that.
He's a dude, like, I'm not, I don't want to say I'm like a big fan of his or whatever, but I feel like I respect him. Like, I recognize his greatness.
David Guetta has like so many awesome songs with popular, and he's starting to get, as a lot of these EDM artists are getting into stuff with the rap artist and a whole country, everything. They're going all out because they just want to get people into the music, and you can't help but kind of dance when you hear some of this stuff. But
True.
There's a new song with the singer is Madison Love, and it is called, if I can read my own thing, Never Going Home Tonight. I only listened to it like 2 times, but it was really weird because as soon as I started listening to it, I was like, it sounds like Lana Del Rey, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm a fan of her old work.
Yeah.
It sounds like her old album, Born to Die, back in the day. I think it was like early, I'm going to say probably early 2010, 11, 12-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
That's when she had Summertime Sadness. It was one of her biggest songs. She had this whole album where it was like she's an older type style singer.
Okay.
Very just demure. Love that whole album.
Oh, yeah.
I did look up, if maybe she had anything to do with the lyrics and stuff like that. And I guess he released it back in June at one of the festivals.
Okay.
And everybody was speculating that it was her singing. But it's not. It's this other chick, Madison Love. But just had to throw that out there for anybody, Lana Del Rey fans. Really, really cool song.
Yeah.
So Megan Thee Stallion has a song, Never Play, with RM from BTS.
Okay.
So I liked her other song that she had out recently on the radio, part of her old album. And here I go again, because
it's her latest one. I think it's probably the Megan album, right? That's like the one that's out currently. I actually just started listening to that today. I was gonna go over that one, for a review. That one has a lot of joints on it. There's a lot of songs.
Yeah, and I told you about this one before. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared for this.
That's all right.
Her, I know I sent it to you. It was the.
She definitely has a lot of content that's on there. She's another one. I put her right in there with the City Girls. I feel like she's just out there having fun. I actually don't think Megan is that bad of a rapper either. Some people say oh yeah, they don't have any bars. They're just talking about sex and whatever. I feel like she does have some bars. There's some bars in there if you actually listen to it.
It's Mamushi. That's my song.
Oh yeah,
that's my jam off of that.
Oh my, yeah.
It's so interesting. And here I sit there and talk about her song with the dude from BTS, and I'm like, I really don't like it. Because I'm not into the, whole Asian,
the K-pop,
K-pop bands and stuff like that. But yet that other dude, Mamushi, the guy's name is Yuki Chiba. I really liked his whole rollout on that song. It hit me. I heard it on the radio. Yes, I still listen to the radio, but I heard it and I was like,
too.
"Oh
she
my
does
God.
Too. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes when you're in your car, you can't always stream."
Yeah,
right.
So
terrestrial radio. I mean, they still got some stuff on there. You still got to pay attention to what they're playing out there. I mean, that's what a lot of people are listening to. So,
yes.
that what is it called? Mamushi.
Mamushi.
Yeah, that one. I'm like, I just can't get into that one. Like it's like it to me it's too repetitive. You know what I mean? It's too.
But see, I love it.
Yeah.
It's an earworm. It 100% is. I can't sometimes get it out of my head.
Yeah.
I'll hear a little bit of it somewhere, and all of a sudden, for days, I could go to sleep, and in my dreams, I'm literally hearing that. So.
There are some songs that will do that to me. Like I won't like a song. Like I'll dislike it, but it's so catchy that it'll get stuck in my head and just keep playing.
Now it's going to be, meet me at the hotel room in my sleep.
I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning like singing like Pitbull.
Yeah.
But it'll be okay because we'll be celebrating an Eagles win, so that'll be fine.
Right. So to move this along, so we also have one that I was literally like, what? Didn't even hear that he was coming out with anything.
Yeah.
But that's because I do work, and Friday I try to get some time in for the new music. But
true.
Freaking LL Cool J.
Yes. The Queen's legend, LL Cool J. Let's clap it up for LL Cool J. Clap it up for him.
Ladies love.
Yep.
Yes.
Uncle L. The legend, the rap icon, dropped a brand new album.
The Force.
The Force.
So it features Snoop, Rick Ross, Fat Joe, Saweetie, Busta, Eminem, Mad Squabbles, Jay San, and Pablito.
Yes.
So
with that album, so let me put it like this, like, so if I can kind of explain LL, at least in my opinion, in my case, LL Cool J, I definitely respect him completely. Like, that guy is a legend.
100%. He
has done so much for, like, the hip hop world. You know what I mean? He's taken it to levels unheard of. I think personally, like, I'm not one of his biggest fans. I kind of like more of like his hardcore songs. I like, Mama Said Knock You Out.
Okay.
I like, Who Shot Ya, the remix with everybody on it. Those are the kind of joints I like from LL.
You can't get mad at when he was doing a little bit of the hip hop R&B.
Yeah, like with the songs like Doing It.
Who Do You Love?
Yeah, Who Do You Love? Doing It, like those kind of joints. Yeah. He was definitely making like the ladies joints there for a while. I know when him and Cannabis had their beef going on, I mean, that was just legendary to me. I know this is probably not going to go over well amongst people. I'm just going to say it anyway. I think Cannabis won that battle. Like, I'm convinced of it. You know what I mean?
Well,
that's always been like a hot topic in the hip hop world. Like, who won that? You know what I mean? A lot of people, I feel like, just want to give it to LL because he's a legend. You know what I mean? He's more famous. He's more popular.
He's more well versed in all, like, a whole bunch of genres now.
Yeah.
So, maybe not. I still feel, I listened to him when I was a kid.
Yep.
I remember people breakdancing to his stuff in front of my house, putting the cardboard down, everybody doing, that type of stuff. And then all of a sudden, when I became of age to actually start buying music, and then it was hip hop and, like, oh my God, those are the days I will never forget, because that's when I really got into music.
True.
With a whole bunch of that stuff. So
playing like a Roundaway Girl.
R&B. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. It just takes me back to like the one Cannabis line. I feel like that destroyed him. He's like, 99% of your fans wear high heels. Like, how do you come back from that? You know what I mean?
Look at Usher. Who's going to get mad at Usher? I mean, he's not a rapper, but...
Right, that's the difference, though.
But this is why his name is also Ladies Love.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right. I think the thing with LL...
you're going to get mad at...
I know, people are going to be hating
I'm like,
on me
Cannabis, I'm like,
right.
Maybe I might have heard some of his shit, but at this point, I'm going with LL.
LL. He's yeah. I mean, it was a legendary battle. I just think it was like I think Cannabis had it. You know what I mean? And I'm more of like I'm more into like the lyrical type things. I want to hear the bars. You know what I mean? And I don't think LL could mess with him at that point. Like, Cannabis was at the height of his career at that point and was just murdering microphones. Like,
We'll have to listen to some of this stuff.
I have not listened to that, so I do not have an opinion on that.
Second Round Knockout was the song that Cannabis did. It was like his diss song against LL, and it was legendary.
But see, this is why we have a discussion, because you're going to have more of the people that listen to the hardcore.
Yep.
We're still we're into more of the R&B style.
And I don't want anyone to
EDM.
I don't want anyone
jazz.
to think that I don't like LL or I don't respect him. I respect him immensely. He's awesome. I'm definitely going to listen to the new album. I still remember listening as a young kid to the song 6 Minutes or whatever on the one album that was out around that time. I think that was early 90s or so. I forget. I can't think of the name of that album right at the moment. But I mean, he was just awesome back then. Amazing artist, and he's done so much. I mean, taking it from being a rapper to the acting stuff, movies.
Oh yeah.
On TV shows, it's come on now. This guy has achieved.
He's so well-rounded, man.
Let's clap it up for him.
Yeah, clap it up for LL, Uncle L. I'm sorry that I'm not picking you on the beef side, but it's fine. He still has his place. His jersey is forever in the rafters. I feel like
yes. I listened to some of it. It was closer to the end of the day, so I was really kind of caught on time. But I listened to a few, and then one that I really kind of liked was Proclivities with Sweetie. So it references some older style stuff. It's a very sensual, rapidy rap. So he's going back to the,
the days of the doing it.
I'm a doing it, and I'm a doing it well type of thing.
Okay.
And
give me shivers.
one of her verses in it, she starts out with "I'm jingling, baby."
Oh boy!
So it's bringing back old school stuff.
Yep.
And as much as I wish her verses would have been a little bit more exciting, it's still good. You have to listen to it. You won't hate it.
Right.
You might not be it's the best thing, but you won't hate it because it definitely brings back old school.
Okay.
No, I can't wait for you to listen to it because I want to see your reaction.
Yeah, I definitely. I'm hyped to hear it. And I have it on my to-do list basically, so I will get to that at some point. Yep. So.
And the Rick Ross, Fat Joe one is pretty cool. Eminem.
Oh my! I heard that.
Eminem is spitting.
Yes.
Spitting rhymes the fastest I think I've ever heard them.
It's both of them at their best. I feel like it's a very good effort.
And even the Busta, I feel like some of the ones that they say they're not all on, there's still some extra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Extra people in the mix.
Yeah, but I can't wait to hear your opinion on this.
Yeah, true. Oh, it's on my to-do list.
Can you tell me when they have videos out?
Yeah. She's waiting for the video where he's licking his lips.
Oh.
All right.
I'm eating a peach.
All right. Do we have any other new music? I don't think as far as I know, with the rapidy rap stuff. The only other one that I saw that was out that I give zero fucks about is. It's G Herbo. He got a new album called Big Swerve. I can assure you that I will not be listening to this. Assure you.
Yeah, my recommendations were up to some of the other more, what do you call them, famous or mainstream.
Yeah.
And I just
I mean, G Herbo is pretty big. He's big amongst more of the younger crowd. You know what I mean? And I'm not even trying to be the old head, because there are some young rappers that I do like. There's people like Corday is amazing, right? He's an artist under 30 that's just amazing, so good.
Yeah, but I think it's fair to say about you is that you aren't just stuck back in the old days. You listen to past, present, everything up to date. Right.
Yeah, I listen to new stuff. I grew up grew up in the 80s. 90s was probably that's the time when I'm a teenager, kind of coming into my own.
Oh man, you're telling our ages.
I know, right?
We're still young at heart.
Yeah, we're still young at heart. So, but yeah, I mean, anything like that was big in like the late '80s, early '90s, and everything forward. Like I got onto it back then, and I haven't stopped since then. I mean,
But that's good. That's your
full
genre.
steam ahead.
You love it.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So
nothing wrong.
I mean, of course, like I love all the greats, So yeah, like that's me. I still check out new stuff. Like I still want to hear new stuff. All the veterans, they're still putting out records. I mean, look, you have like LL. It's like he's almost 40 years into the game. Like that's insane right there.
Yeah.
So
well, if you got it, you got it.
yeah, and then I'll go check out like a new album from Corday or whoever, like Ty Dolla $ign or whatever. Like I'll definitely check out new stuff. So
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing wrong with that. Good
Keep
stuff.
in verse.
Yes, and that's why we should also replug Balcony Life blog.
Yeah, that's what I do with the blog. Like, I mean, all the new albums that come out, I review them. I'm a little bit behind now. I'm trying to catch up. I got some stuff from earlier in the year that I'm still, trying to get posted. But I just write short little things on each one. A little review. It takes like 2 minutes to read. And I tell you all about the album, and I give you like an honest review of it. I'll tell you how it is, And just because like I don't like one album, I might love the next one. I've had albums where like I hate the previous release, but then I love the current one,
So after you find one that you don't like, you still listen to that artist.
Yeah,
like
I will.
Next one.
I will do that for a lot of people. Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yeah. There's some that like I feel like I'll listen to, and I don't like every single album, but I keep listening. Just because I just try to stay current, I try to get out of my comfort zone sometimes.
And some people have like they almost have it.
Yeah,
almost have it.
Yep.
They almost have it, and you're just waiting for that one.
Yep.
That one good thing.
There's artists that I've seen that have come by that have, when I first started listening to them, they weren't like up to par, I guess, or not as good as I thought that they could be. But now that I've been listening for like a couple years, like they really come into their own. Like the first one I can think of is Your Old Droog. That's his name. Your Old Droog.
Okay.
That dude is amazing nowadays. Like when I first started listening to him, he was a little weird. He was a little out there. But he is on point with every single release. Like,
dude, to me and not to bring up old stuff, but Dram.
Oh, Dram, yeah.
I couldn't get enough of him, because it was odd, but man, just listen to some crazy lyrics. And that's not even rappity rap.
He's another fun one. He's fun.
Yeah. You can't get mad at that.
No. I mean, anyone having fun, I feel like you can't really get mad. Like, yes, is it not like as intense as other things and bars and all this stuff? It's like they're out there having fun, and that's how rap started. If you think about it, everyone was partying back in the day. It was a party setting, and that's how the rhymes were.
Yeah.
I mean, look at like Sugar Hill Gang.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was the time. It's the house parties, the block parties. Yes. Everyone was having fun, and it's like sometimes like it gets way too serious. And it's like, you got to remember that, like, there's a time to have fun also.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, yeah. All right, y'all, let's get into some credit, edit, or dead it.
Cool.
I think we got a pretty good list here today. There's some good topics on here. Let's go with, I'll go with the first one here. Dr. Dre. The producer, Dr. Dre. I'll tell you what, you say credit?
I say credit.
I say credit.
You say credit also?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I would definitely say credit 1,000%. The guy is a genius. Like he takes forever to do anything. Like it's a million years in between projects. But that aside.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing though, because I mean he brings out some really good shit.
Oh yeah. I mean the stuff that he's made is like classic. Like I mean the Chronic, the Chronic 2001. I don't know about the Compton album. That one's a little but
no.
Yeah, so I would say credit for Dr. Dre. I think we're all in agreement on that one.
Yeah, he's got some awesome collaborators too. So yeah, you can't hate that.
He always has like everyone that's great on albums. So.
And everybody has a bad album. Everybody has, certain songs you don't listen to. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, next one. Los Angeles. The city of Los Angeles. Lori?
I haven't been there, But I would like to see it.
I haven't been there either.
Yeah.
I Google it a lot. I map it out. I'm a nerd. I do map out some things.
And how long will it take us to get there?
No, like
if I leave now, can I get there?
I Zillow houses because I'm a nerd, and sometimes I don't have much to do. So
it's fun doing that though.
It is.
Then
you
can just see how other houses are and be like, "Ooh, I want mine to look like that."
Right. Yeah, well, like that dude. I don't know if you guys heard. Not that this is the news segment, but there's the guy that his dad owns. Is it the Phillies?
Oh.
His name is John Paul. Montgomery or something like that.
I'm
but
not
yeah,
sure.
He's from the Philadelphia area,
and
he's the son of some rich man that owns, I think it's the Philadelphia Phillies, but he has two mansions over in Los Angeles that now I guess squatters are taking over because nobody lives there, and now they've graffitied all over the mansion. And so I was on maps the other day sitting there like, oh, let me find this house. Let me find the other house. And yeah, it's kind of crazy because they're like multi-million-dollar houses and these people are just smashing out the windows.
Yeah, partying it up.
Graffitiing, everything. It's actually kind of cool, some of the art that they're doing on it. But yeah, it's like, I'd like to go over there and see what it's like.
All right. So what do you say? Edit or credit?
I say credit to edit, maybe, because I don't know much about it. It's something I would like to see. But
okay, all right.
I want to go to Malibu. That's where I want to go.
Malibu?
Yeah.
What do you say for Los Angeles?
I'm not 100% sure.
Not sure?
Yeah, because I've never been there. I don't like Lori. I don't know much about it, and
true.
So that one I can't really answer. I apologize.
For LA, I think I'm gonna say credit. It sounds awesome. I've never been there. I hear about it in Rapidy Raps. Like, they're always talking about...
Rapidy Raps.
Yeah, they're always saying about, like, all these areas in LA. Like, it sounds cool. You know what I mean? They got, like, the Lakers are out there. Like, you got, I don't know, everything's close by. I'm not a Lakers fan. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But then they got earthquakes and stuff, too. So I guess that's kind of, like, not cool, but...
That would kind of be cool, though.
Like little ones, maybe. Like, I don't know, like up to like 4, I guess.
I felt a little earthquake before. I don't need to feel a big one.
I just think some of the houses, they have like literally bolted into the ground because they're on hills. So literally the front of your house could be, the driveway is on the ground. You walk into the house and then the back end is literally hanging over the cliff. But you have these, massive metal beams bolted, and it's like, how far do they dig these things into the ground that it doesn't shake the house? Or I'm sure the house shakes, but how does it not fall down the cliff?
True.
I don't know, and I don't want to find out. That scares me.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, hoodies. Hoodies.
Absolutely credit. Hello.
It's hoodie weather.
Right? Woo! Clap it up for hoodies.
Clap it up for hoodies. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to clap that
freaking wait.
I'm definitely going to go credit as well. I think hoodies are awesome. Like, it's hoodie season. We're getting there. We're almost there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like, you can customize them like so many ways. Like, I mean, you can wear whatever you want. Like, your sports team, your music, whatever. Like, it can be anything. Yeah.
I just like having my hands in my pocket.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like the ones with the side pockets.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes,
not the big pouch. But there's sometimes the pouch is nice because then you can just hide your gut. So
you can hide your phone, hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah, hide everything in there. All right. So, yeah, we're all in agreement on that one. Credit. All right. Next one, Doritos.
Absolutely Well, hold on.
See, got her.
Depends the taste.
Right, the flavor. Like, obviously, credit the regular ones,
the nacho and cheese ones. Yeah.
But I can, dead spicy ones, like Cool Ranch.
Okay.
Ew. Oh, the Cool Ranch are my favorite. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's the next one. Okay, who's the Cool Ranch fans and who aren't the Cool Ranch fans?
Right. So, yeah.
I'm not Cool Ranch. Nope.
No Cool Ranch?
I
No
love the
Cool
Cool
Ranch.
Ranch.
You like the Cool Ranch?
I love the Cool Ranch.
Okay. So you're giving them credit then?
Credit. But here's also another little ditty. I didn't mean ditty, but definitely don't mean here's a little ditty.
It's all right.
But so I learned today about how you're really supposed to eat Pringles. So, everybody tries to put the Pringles in their mouth and they put the curved side up. Or no.
Down.
The curved side. But yeah, you're supposed to keep the curved side down because all of the seasoning is on that. So it literally fits onto your tongue.
Yeah.
When you put it on there and then you let it rest there for a little while.
Okay.
I always did that, but I never thought that it was a special way that you're supposed to eat it. But
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Huh.
I just eat them because they're delicious.
Yeah.
Depends on the flavoring too, though.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, yes.
I'm gonna go credit with Doritos. I think the nacho cheese one reigns supreme.
Oh, for walking tacos, of course.
Oh yeah, they go they go in everything. It's like the perfect snack. They're so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, right? Oh, I love watching walking tacos with them.
Yeah, definitely. They're awesome. All right, next one. Rolling Rock beer.
Dead it.
You're saying dead it?
I don't like beer, so yes, dead it.
That makes sense. I get it.
I'm going to say edit because there was actually a time where I actually didn't mind the taste of it. So
okay.
In certain instances, yeah, I'll crack one open if it's available.
Yeah.
No thanks.
It's better than Schlitz.
Yeah. I like Schlitz. I'll do a Schlitz.
All beer is disgusting.
Yeah, with Rolling Rock, I think I would say edit. It's not one of my favorites.
Right.
But I'll drink one if it's there. I'll definitely grab one. So I'll go edit.
Yeah,
edit. I think.
Edit for sure.
Dead
it. All right. Next one. The actor, Chris Hemsworth. We're getting a lot of thought on this one. A lot of thought.
Thor.
Thor. Yeah, Thor.
I say credit.
I'm going to say edit.
You're saying edit.
I'm saying edit.
Okay.
Because...
All right, Amanda says edit.
I don't like when he has the long hair.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's one I love.
I don't like long hair on men. I'm sorry. If their hair is longer than mine, I don't know.
It makes them look like a lion.
Wow.
I just want to be like, can I braid it?
Lord, What do you say? Credit, edit, or dead?
I say credit. I think he's obviously Australian. The accent, yes. He is gorgeous. His eyes are beautiful.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not bad to look at his physique.
Not at all.
But I'm just a fan of the Thor character and stuff like that. And I love it when he plays stupid.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the one where he's, he got a little fat.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I think he's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just sucks. I guess he has something where he got diagnosed with possible, I guess he did genetic testing or something like that.
Oh, really?
He's going to probably have dementia when he gets older and stuff. So he kind of took off from acting for a little bit to deal with that with him and his family.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And his wife is gorgeous.
Oh, I didn't even...
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I guess I'm going to give him credit then. I think I was going to do edit, but I guess... no, I'll do credit. I think he's a pretty good actor overall. He was good in the Marvel movies. I always think he's great in those. He was funny in the Ghostbusters movie too. The girl one.
Oh, that's right. Because he's like the secretary.
Yeah, he was kind of stupid in it. Yeah.
I did like that. Yes,
that one was good.
Awesome when a handsome man is like
like
on the opposite end,
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll give him credit. All right. Okay, now the next one. This one might be a little tough. Okay. The Ohio Players.
Oh, God.
The Ohio Players.
Stop. No. Come on, JP. Seriously.
Yeah.
When it comes to when they sit there and they have to say what college they're from. Is that what you're talking
That's
about?
not what I'm talking about.
Okay, because I'm like sitting there thinking,
I was like, you're gonna ask
the
a
Ohio
Penn
State.
State fan,
Oh my
and
God.
she like.
Yo, that was awesome that you even. That's where your mind went.
That's where my mind went. It was like, you're asking a Penn State fan
Did
if
you-
she likes the Ohio State.
If you guys know my facial expressions, it was literally like I gave the dead look.
Lori was about to jump over the table and strangle me because of that one.
Yeah,
The
hello.
Ohio
No, this one, the Ohio players, they are an older group that does. This is how you'll know them. This will put you on to how you know them. The song "Love Roller Coaster," they did that one. Like roller coaster of love. You know that song?
Say what?
It's been sampled like a million times.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What's his name?
There's so many. Like
I
I
don't
can't even
know.
think of it.
I can't. I have no say in this.
It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I think didn't they do that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was a rapper that
I
kind
don't
of did
listen
part
to
of it. Was
that.
part of his thing too.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been sampling some of that for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I don't
the
have
name,
enough
but
knowledge to answer that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think for the Ohio players, I'll give them edit. I'll go edit. I don't think I know enough about them to give them like a proper diagnosis, I guess.
Who was that though?
You really didn't think that
Talk amongst yourselves because I'm gonna
that
find
she
this.
wouldn't have reacted that way when you said Theo?
Yeah, that's the name of the group, the Ohio players. That's the name of the group. The Ohio players.
It is funny that both her and I went to.
Yeah, like you all thinking
We
it's
went
like
to
Ohio
football.
State. Like I was like, oh man, that's crazy. Lori was about to pull out the strap and just
Yeah.
bust a cap in me.
Heck yeah.
Oh my,
That's crazy.
that is crazy.
I feel like there was something. Somebody had it. Oh no! Love Roller Coaster, Beavis and Butthead. Was...
Oh yeah, that was in that movie. I'll cut all this out.
Oh yeah.
I'll cut all this out.
There was one where. Oh my gosh.
They did so many things
Love
though
you.
with that song.
That might have been the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't. But yeah.
That's probably the most popular one, I think. Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, like they did that. But there's other ones. So there's a whole bunch of there's a whole bunch. So
Okay. Well.
Okay.
Credit.
All right.
all right.
Credit then. Credit, not the Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give them edit because I feel like I don't know enough. So
No, but I like the sample, so
Yeah.
I'll credit the sample.
yeah, it's a good sample. Good sample. All right, next one, the Bronx. The Bronx.
The Bronx.
The borough.
Never been there. Don't know.
Yep, I'm sitting this one out too.
I'm gonna say edit because I don't really know. I mean,
Okay.
you hear bad stuff, you hear decent
Yeah.
stuff, but you've been there. Have you been there?
I've never been to the Bronx.
You've been to Brooklyn.
I've been to Brooklyn. I'll give for the Bronx. I'll give it edit. A big part of why I would say I was almost going to go credit, and a big part of that would be because that's where hip hop was formed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's the birthplace of hip hop. So you got to give them credit for that.
Right.
Right. I understand that.
But then there's also a lot of crazy stories that you hear, a lot of news stories that come out of there.
Right.
You know, they say like there's a lot of, it's almost like the second Florida. It's like Florida Junior. I feel like there's a lot of crazy stories from the Bronx.
So I should Google the Bronx man instead of the Florida man.
Yeah. Yeah. If the Florida man is number one in news, like the Bronx man is number two.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh.
All right. Next one. We're almost done. We got two more. Next one. Pork chops. Pork
Ooh.
chops.
Edit. I'm gonna say edit only
Edit?
because you can make a really awesome pork chop, especially when it's wrapped in bacon.
Yeah.
And with a nice bourbon glaze on it.
Wow,
And-
that sounds
oh.
delicious.
I would go for pork chops. I think I'm also going to go edit. They can be really good. Like I like nice barbecue sauce on there, all sauced up, nicely cooked. That one's awesome right there. That
Bone
goes,
in or
You know what?
boneless? Because you could do a pork loin and chop it up into. But I guess that's just kind of like loin chops or whatever you want
Yeah,
to call
yeah.
that.
I'll go either way. Like I think either would be fine. I think either way would be
I
good
would
for me.
try either way.
Well, so what are you saying? Credit, edit, or edit for pork chops?
We'll say credit.
You're saying credit?
No, I like
Okay. All right. So there we go. All right. Last one. This is a pretty good one. I feel like we'll have some good convo on this one. Ashanti, the singer Ashanti. Credit also.
Credit.
I love
That's
Ashanti.
That's universal right there. Ashanti's
Love her.
awesome. She's such a great singer.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, new baby recently. Spun the block with Nelly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep, absolute credit.
Yeah, Ashanti's awesome. I remember listening to Ashanti's records back in my college days. I feel like that's a big time frame for that music. Like it was really good. She's awesome too. She seems
early
like
2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, like such a nice person too. Like every interview I've ever seen with her, like she's such a fantastic, nice person.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely credit on that one.
She still got it. That's for sure.
Yeah, she definitely does. Definitely does. All right, what's up, y'all? We got the interview here with a true legend. This is probably one of the biggest, I would say, local artists as far as hip hop goes. I've known this guy for a long, long time. I think we're like at probably 25 years or so, somewhere right around there.
Yeah.
This is one of the premier artists, in my opinion, and soon to be yours too. We got Mr. Billy Krause, Mr. Bill Krause, otherwise known as Apollo's son. Clap it up, y'all. Clap it up. Clap it up for Apollo's son. All right, man. So how's everything going?
It's going, man. Life is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know exactly where I'm going. Sometimes I know exactly where I'm at. And other times I do not at all.
Nice, man.
So, but in general, things are good.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good.
well. I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, just doing this up here. We're just going to get into you and all about you and try to, educate the people. So let's kick it off here. We got the first thing I want to know, if you could tell me about your background and kind of like growing up and kind of how you got into, into the hip hop thing. Like,
Sure.
like tell me a little bit about your background.
Sure. So I grew up in a household that hip hop was not anywhere to be found, really.
Yeah.
It was all classic rock, Steve Miller Band, Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Okay.
The Grassroots, just to name a few. Tom Petty. I mean, all the popular stuff in the 60s and 70s because of my dad. That was my first encounter with music in general.
Yeah. Yep.
And then my older brother was in bands, and they were all, so that was in the 80s. And my future brother-in-law, they would always be playing guitar, and they were into things like Iron Maiden and hair metal and Poison and Guns N' Roses and all that kind of stuff.
Motley Crue and all that.
All of it. And so I didn't really have a mentor to lead me down that path of hip hop.
Okay.
So when my first recollection of hip hop was actually the Fat Boys.
Okay.
Yeah, the Fat Boys. And I was probably like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with them because I thought they were funny. They were animated.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were cartoony. And there was a movie that I used to watch, and I can't even think of the name of it right now. I wasn't even sure if it existed.
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things where you're like, did I really see that?
Yeah, like is this real?
Yeah, and it was called like the they played cops or like security guards.
Oh, okay.
And like all I remember is like there was a scene where the one like jumped into the pool in slow motion and like blew all the water out and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, the beatboxing caught me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
And then now my brother and brother-in-law were into the Beastie Boys.
Yes.
I believe Check Your Head was out at the time.
Okay.
So I think that was the album that had What You Want. So
yes, that's actually my favorite joint off of it.
Yeah, so that was like my probably earliest memories of any sort of hip hop, anything.
Yeah.
Besides that, the internet wasn't there for me to discover things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely not.
And then as I started to get older, in the early 90s, I should say, is when artists like, it was like when Dr. Dre's The Chronic came out.
Yes, yep.
And like that tail end of NWA.
Yeah.
And the earliest Wu-Tang Clan stuff. And
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily into the music, but it caught my ear.
Right.
And I had some friends at the time, and then we were starting to like buy CDs and get boombox, like not boomboxes because they were pretty much done by the 90s. They're actually coming back.
Right.
But like the USB ones and stuff. But so we would start making our way into like music stores and stuff, and that's when I finally started to really check out what I eventually figured out is like hip hop.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, and yeah, I got sucked into like MC Hammer as a kid. You know what I mean? I got sucked into Vanilla Ice for a very short period, you know.
Same.
But I was like 7.
Right. Yep.
And I didn't know anything about like the culture. It was just pop music that was on TV, and you know, the beats caught me.
Yep.
So then from there, I started to stray away from like the classic rock stuff. I was like, oh, there's modern music, and like Sir Mix-a-Lot. I loved Sir when I was a kid. Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. I still karaoke it. You know what I mean?
Yep,
and,
that's classic. Yep.
So regardless of how I feel about like the integrity of the music at that time,
right,
it still played a part in my life. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
they kind of showed it to the mainstream. Or whatever. That's the way I always think about them.
Man.
Yep.
And so then from there, I just discovered artists through my sister, who was a year and a half. She's a year and a half older than me.
Yeah,
she started getting into stuff. So then I started learning about like Bone Thugs and Harmony, Creeping on a Come Up.
Ah, yes, yep.
And then Outkast.
Yeah.
And, you know, Southern Playalistic. And the first CD that I ever purchased that was a hip hop record, because at the time, a lot of it had parental advisory stickers.
Ah,
on it,
yes,
right?
yes.
And I wasn't allowed to buy that stuff because I'm 8 years old. You know?
Yep.
The first album I was actually allowed to buy, and the only reason I was allowed to get it was because I told a lie to my parents that the size of the parental advisory sticker would dictate how bad it was.
How bad it was, yeah. I like that. I like that.
And how many, like, I was like, the smaller it is, the less they cuss.
Exactly, yeah. There's only like one F-bomb on it.
Right. So at the time, House of Pain had their album Same As It Ever Was.
Yes, yep.
That had, you know, it was after the Jump Around days. Which,
yes.
You know, that's another. We all know those songs, you know, from the early 90s and stuff. And, you know, memories of even like Illmatic. I didn't hear Illmatic until 2 years after it came out. When I saw Illmatic in a store, I actually thought it was a rock album.
Right.
I didn't know who Nas was. I was like, who's that kid?
Yeah,
you know?
we were just getting introduced to that stuff
at that
time.
You know, so I slowly just stumbled into that realm and then started discovering different artists.
Yeah.
And then that's when I really dug into the culture of hip hop.
Yeah.
But then I had started listening to not so much this television poppy stuff.
Right, like a radio stuff, yeah.
That's when I discovered things like Illmatic.
Yeah.
Because Illmatic wasn't necessarily you know, you gotta remember, when I was a teenager and like really getting into music, like people like Britney Spears were making, you know what I mean? They were teenagers too.
Yeah.
So, I know that my ear for what I would deem is now a lot of like the classic hip hop really started to develop in probably 94.
94, yeah.
94. And that's when I started really digging into groups that had more to them.
Right.
Goody Mob Soul Food.
Oh my gosh, classic.
You know,
classic.
Is an incredible record.
Yeah.
You know, even, you know, Outkast's second record, ATL.
Oh yeah.
That's my Grail album.
Yes.
No matter, and I've been listening to hip hop for a long time.
Yeah.
And I respect the greats. I respect the Rakims and the Slick Rick. I respect everyone.
Oh yeah. Everyone plays their part. Yep.
But there are 2 albums in my life that I always say they're my Alone on an Island albums.
Oh, yes.
That when it comes to hip hop that have truly have changed my life.
Okay.
Which are Outkast, ATLians.
ATLians, yep.
And it was, a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was into like extraterrestrial and UFO vibes.
Yeah. And that first video was perfect.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
So I was like, wow. And I remember this kid. He was this older guy, and a lot of the people in my school at the time. Well, I was in middle school, and the kids in high school were putting systems in their car, and I remember I heard elevators.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that?
You're just booming out of the system.
And but it was the production that really caught me on that album. I feel that Organized Noise is probably the most underrated production team in the history of hip hop music.
Oh, fantastic.
And rest in peace, I think it was Rico.
Yeah, just passed away recently.
You know, he was part of that.
Definitely, rest in peace.
I had no clue that like Sleepy Brown was in there.
Yep.
You know, I had no clue that these guys were like. And one of the things that stuck out to me that album is, and maybe if you go back and, I don't know if you've noticed this or if it's something that has stuck out to you about that album, is that most of the bass lines are played with a live bass guitar.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I was like, whoa, there's another element.
Yep.
To, it's not just like 808s and bass tones that are being pitched up and down. It's an actual musician in there doing that.
Yeah, like they can actually add those instruments in there.
So that album and the Lucy Ford EPs by the group Atmosphere.
Okay.
Those two albums have changed my life.
Oh, nice.
We could talk about that stuff all day, but
absolutely.
That's kind of where it started in terms of the love affair. For hip hop was.
So all right. So with that, like, what made you kind of think like that? Hey, I want to get into this. I want to be a part of this and actually kind of perform this myself. Like, how did you arrive at that?
I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I was really blown away by artists that I started hearing that would like put a lot of like soul into their lyrics, not just like shoot 'em up stuff. I love that stuff at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a
even Nas, even like Illmatic had both elements of that, but it was like extremely detailed lyrical music.
Yeah.
So once I started going into that realm of more lyrical artists, and groups with more depth to them, the Roots,
definitely a lot more substance.
Black Thought, from the Roots. He actually is a big inspiration. Big Pun.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
He really blew my mind in terms of his technical ability.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised too because of how big he was.
Yeah. Like, the breath control. Is crazy.
You could tell he's not punching in all the time.
Right.
Some people were better at it than others, but that dude wasn't punching in as much as you would think,
Yeah. Yep.
So I was 12 years old, and there were two songs that after I heard them. Now, I had always been into writing.
Yeah.
And I would always write stories as a kid, and I made my own little books, and I was a storyteller naturally. Like when I was first born, I grew up in the city of York.
Right.
Right off of Parkway Boulevard.
Big shout out to York.
Yeah.
Shout out to York.
Yeah, man. Where the Jimininas was.
Yep.
The road that runs into that is Smith Street.
Okay.
I was born on Smith Street.
Okay.
And my parents I would get brought home by the cops by the age of like 4.
Oh, geez.
Not because I was doing anything wrong. It was because I would get lost.
Right.
I would climb the fence.
Yeah.
And there were these abandoned houses that I would go and explore, and you're not supposed to go. I guess I was getting in trouble. I was trespassing.
Yeah. Exploring. Creative exploring.
Yeah. And but they would find me down the street telling stories to neighbors, and they had groups of people around me and stuff. And they'd see my arms go. This is what they tell me. They see my arms going, and I'm just lying, you know what I mean, with telling these big stories about what I saw and all that.
Yeah.
So I always had this knack of like sharing stories, and I got into writing poetry. I took poetry classes in school, which is really creative writing. I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I was good at it too.
Right.
And I did really well in the classes. But the reason I brought up, at the age of 12, it was my history class. That was where it started.
Okay.
And I was 12.
So that love for writing
and the two songs that inspired that, where I was like, I think I want to try this.
Yeah.
Was Timo's verse on "I Didn't Ask to Come" on Goody Mob's Soul Food.
On Soul Food, okay.
Yeah. That song.
Yep.
And Big Punisher's Capital Punishment album.
Oh yeah.
It was it Super Lyrical?
Super Lyrical.
Was that the song that had Black Thought?
With Black Thought, yep. Oh my gosh, the bars on that are just out of this world.
Yeah, so Black Thoughts, Big Pun too.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, it also extends out into the Roots Philadelphia Half-Life album.
Yep.
They had a song called No Alibi.
Okay.
And No Alibi was the other one too. Those three songs where I was like, man.
Yeah, like I can do this.
This makes me want to write.
Yeah.
And so when I was 12, I started writing. I did start writing. I would write in that class.
Yeah.
I still have, probably in this box behind me, I still have like that page.
Oh, okay.
It was horrible.
Like some of the stuff from that time frame. Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's how everyone's first rhyme is, that they write it. Anything that the first thing,
It took me a while to understand. Like, I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have somebody telling me like how to write a bar.
Yeah.
What's a bar? What's beats?
Right.
What is that?
What's the structure to this thing?
Had no clue.
Yeah.
I just tried to sound rhythmic on a beat.
Yep.
To the best of my ability.
Yeah.
And then you learn as time goes on. But that, when I look back in my mind, that was like where it started.
Yeah, that's the starting point right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was just rappers.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Maybe
definitely.
Rap too.
Exactly. Like so with the listening to these kind of artists, these kind of songs and stuff. What would you say are your influences even today? Like who would you be influenced by like today? That who do you see that you makes you want to keep going and makes you want to kind of sharpen the sword and keep at it?
Sure. So growing up, and it's still for the most part relevant to today.
Yeah.
Till this day, it was Andre 3000.
Oh, yep.
From Outkast. Black Thought.
Yep.
Pharoah Monch.
Oh, Pharoah Monch, absolutely.
Slug from Atmosphere.
Yep.
And Sage Francis.
Okay.
Yeah, who's more of like a poet.
Yes.
But those were like my 5. Oh, and Aesop Rock.
Oh, Aesop. Yeah. Yep.
ASAP Rocky.
Right.
Aesop Rock.
right. The real heads will know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He has been scientifically proven to have the biggest
I've
vocabulary in the world of hip hop in the world.
I've seen that. Yeah, like they have like these charts where they'll show like how many distinct words he's using, and it's like he's like leaps and bounds in front of everyone.
And when I was younger, Adam Duritz, the lead singer from the Counting Crows, he influenced me as well.
Okay.
As a songwriter, because I thought his words were incredibly jarring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They cut.
It's like a poignant thing.
Yeah, man. His stuff it was wretched. You know what I mean? It was just like heartbreaking to hear him. He sounded like he really wanted to die in that moment.
Yeah, like he's tapping into some raw emotion.
And regardless of what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. Or live. Really live in that moment.
Yep.
So I have outside influences as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would say those are probably the most prominent people and artists. There's a ton of artists that I love. I have, soft spots in my heart for a bunch of different people, but those are like the guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. So how would you describe your creative process? Like when you go into, to create something, to write a rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any kind of like rituals that you get into? Like I know sometimes people do like, certain things. They'll kind of put themselves in certain atmospheres.
Mm-hmm.
What's your creative process like?
It is post masturbation clarity.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
No.
Once you get in that realm,
that moment where you're like everything's clear, and I'm like, ugh,
like here come the words.
I'm failing, but I could be so much better. I got to do better. I'm gonna write. Really, it would always be. It would be in moments of stress.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I would need to, or feel the need to express something where I felt a certain way that wasn't necessarily positive. I can't write when I'm happy.
Yeah.
I can't, hey, today was a good day. I'm gonna woo.
Right.
There's a squirrel over there and he's feeding, and like he didn't get hit by the car, and it's I'm just thinking of things I see because of where I live. I live in the woods, you know what I mean?
Right.
I can't, I don't need to write.
Right.
Because it's an outlet for me.
Yeah, it's like cathartic. I mean? It gets things out.
I can't, it's a tool.
Yeah.
For therapy.
Yeah.
I was in therapy by the time I was 13. They told me to write my feelings down.
Yep.
So it is part of that process of basically doing personal like inventory.
Yeah.
And so it basically comes from a moment of being unsettled. I would say. Yeah, I can't. If things are good, then I don't have much to.
Yeah.
Bitch about.
I feel you. Yep. So. No, that makes sense. Definitely. So who would you say if you had to do a collaboration with somebody? Who would your dream collaboration be with?
My dream collaboration?
Yep. Like you and somebody else on a song. Could be anyone. Could be somebody old, new, any genre, whatever. Who would you most want to collaborate with?
Could it be like Dead or Alive?
Dead or Alive. Yep. Could be anybody.
I would say it would probably be Slug from Atmosphere. Slug? In terms of like an MC.
Yeah.
Not so much. I will always love Atmosphere. Not so much modern Atmosphere stuff.
Okay.
I'm not as big of a fan as I once was.
Right.
Of their newer stuff. Their classic material to me is untouchable.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been anything since.
Yeah.
So I think I would say Slug because he is actually the artist, and I think we're gonna touch on that a little bit later. But
yeah,
he changed my life.
Yeah.
And so that would be an honor. But really, any of the greats, I know, like we talked about it, earlier.
Yeah.
Any of the people I looked up to as an artist growing up.
Yep.
I have done some shows with some people, and I've done things with some people, so it's all an honor.
Yeah, definitely.
Anybody to be able to say that I was on a stage with KRS-One.
Yep.
Or to say that I had, Lazy Bone from the group Bone Thugs and Harmony talking to me and thanking me and stuff. You know what I mean?
And
getting props from the guys in the Far Side and Hieroglyphics and Souls of Mischief. Well, same kind of thing.
Yeah, same kind of crew.
Branches, Yeah. That's all an honor. But yes, Slug would be awesome.
Yeah.
But we'd have to hang out too. I couldn't just like record or send a verse. I'd be like, no, we're gonna record.
Yeah, we're gonna make some time.
Yeah, like let's go get something to eat.
Yeah,
I want to pick your brain. I probably am gonna ask for a long hug. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Things like that. But him and also, I would love to have had a chorus from Melanie Safka.
Okay.
Or Safka.
Safka. Okay.
Safka. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. Yeah, the name sounds familiar.
She is like a old school folk country artist. She had she had a song called like "Lay It Down," which was about like It was an anti-war song. Leftover Want. When I got into like production and making my own beats, and I would go and dig through like the dollar bins and listen for stuff to sample, I was constantly picking her. Like I'd see her album and I knew they would be like, her voice is just incredible.
Yeah, like they're gonna have some jewels.
Yeah, man. And she just had a beautiful voice, and I would love to heard it on something.
Yeah, have her on a hook or something like that.
Man.
Yeah,
the way that like hip hop artists will sample like a soul singer, and then they pitch bend it or they do whatever they do.
Like they do the speed up thing.
You don't need to do that with her, right? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing.
Like her voice is the instrument.
Yeah, she has one of those classic voices. Janis Joplin, Mama Cass.
Yeah.
People like that. You know what I mean? She just has one of those voices. So those two that'd be dope.
Yeah, yeah. So you kind of touched on like one of the things, I was going to kind of get into here with you. As far as like opening for people, you've opened for some huge hip hop acts, like enormous, like KRS-One. I mean, that's like just huge for any hip hop head.
Method Man.
Yep. Yeah. Can you go over like some of the shows that you've actually done, like, to kind of give people a good perspective of, what we're dealing with.
Yeah. So I've opened 4 shared stages with whatever you want to call it. With Method Man, Master Killa, Inspector Deck.
Yeah,
all from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yep.
I missed being able to do the John that had Redman on it too.
Oh,
so I missed that one. Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Far Side.
Yep.
Hieroglyphics and Souls of Mischief.
Legendary.
There was a group from Seattle that was really doing their thing in the underground, and I can't believe, shame on me. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
But in terms of the underground, Blueprint from Rhyme Sayers.
Okay.
I have pictures of him and I together, like in my bedroom.
That's awesome.
But not like that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Louis Logic.
Louis Logic. Okay.
Lou's cool. We've done like Lou's a homie. You know what I mean? I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
Yeah.
But like there was a time where if he saw me, he would know who I was. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was cool. I know there was other ones. I can't believe that I'm drawing, but I would actually have to look at my bio, man.
It's a lot.
I really would, because KRS-One, obviously.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
Yep. And at some cool venues too, like even like the Chameleon Club, I guess, right out in Lancaster.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some awesome venues.
RIP, you know what I mean? To the Chameleon Club.
Yep.
They gave us a lot of really cool opportunities.
Yeah.
The Dragonfly in Harrisburg, which is now gone.
Yep.
There was one time I think I was like out of town or something, but I got asked to open for Rakim.
Oh wow.
But I couldn't do that one.
Yeah.
Oh, now the Bone Thugs and Harmony show that I did. Here's a fun fact for you.
Yeah.
I was actually contacted by the Chameleon Club, and they said, "Hey, we have a couple hip hop shows coming up, and we're gonna let you pick which out of these 2."
Yeah. Bone
Thugs and Harmony or Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
And I was like, who? And I was like, not Bone.
Right.
It was right before,
and that was early on, probably.
Yeah. So what blew him up? Like, was it Black and Yellow or something?
I think it was around that time. I think he was on like kind of like the mixtape circuit around that time. And one of those mixtapes in there kind of just blew up. I think it was right around that time.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, I got to get back to you. So I Googled him and got on YouTube, and I watched 1 minute. It was like, stop.
Yep.
And I said, nah, I'll go with Bone. It's cool.
Bone Thugs. Yep.
Utmost respect for Wiz Khalifa and all those people that do what they do in their lane. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Bone was a big part of my childhood.
Oh, definitely.
Creeping on a come up, and East 1999 Eternal. And, they started to lose me.
Like the Art of War, right around there.
Yeah, that was, I don't know, kind of kind of shat the bed on that one.
Yeah, it didn't quite live up to the expectations. But yeah, still legendary though.
Right, and their style.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Till this day, there are a lot of people fighting their style.
Exactly. Yeah, they were unique at the time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Much love to Bone Thugs and Harmony. They're underappreciated.
They definitely are. Yeah. So that's some huge like artists, like to be able to rock the stage with legends like that is crazy.
Yeah, man. It was very humbling, and it was cool to actually be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
Talk to these people that I would record your music videos on my VCR off like MTV and stuff.
Yep, Rap City and all that back in the day.
Rap City,
Yep.
Joe Claire and Big Tigger and all that stuff.
Yep. We would see all these artists on there all the time.
Man.
Yeah,
and they were just they weren't even real to me,
Yeah.
So when I am in like the general vicinity of these guys.
Yeah.
And to be able to look at them and be like, hey, that's you.
Yeah.
It's cool. And it's even cooler when they give you the respect back too. You know what I mean? Because you're like, man, I don't suck. You know what I mean? I'm not a complete like idiot. So that's always cool too. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I also forgot about and shame on me, but Reef the Lost Cause.
Reef, yes.
I went on tour in 2009, and
big shout out to Reef.
And Reef and King Magnetic.
Yes, King Magnetic.
Yeah, King Magnetic is a big man.
Yes, super dope too.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's nasty.
Yep.
But both were super nice dudes, and Reef is always humble and cool, and he's got a big heart. Man.
Oh, absolutely.
He will eat you up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super talented on the mic. His albums are great.
He is a great human being.
Yeah. Yep. Big family man. Reps Philly hard.
Yeah, man.
Definitely.
And same thing. I did a show. I did shows with him, but I saw him in the freestyle battles at Scribble Jam in 2008 or something. You know what I mean? Before, it's wild seeing these people and then being able to like people were coming there to see us together. You know what I mean? Yep. So it's wild when you have that happen.
Exactly. So with the with all these shows and all these artists that you've kind of shared the stage with and rocked with, a lot of times you get like different crowds coming in.
Yeah.
Anything that you could think of, what would be like the wildest thing that you've experienced, like while being out at a show? Is there something that you saw that was real crazy in the audience? Any kind of like people acting up, acting crazy? What's kind of like the craziest thing that you've experienced from shows?
I know at the show that Method Man was at, we were actually supposed to we didn't get a chance to meet him.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he was climbing on tables and people were holding his feet up and he's walking over the crowd. The dude is a spider monkey. You know what I mean? And I say that in the most respectful way possible.
Yep.
The dude he's an incredible performer.
He knows how to rock
I saw him
the crowd.
perform last year with Nas and when they did the New York State of Mind tour down in DC, and De La Soul was there. Rest in peace to Dave.
Yes. R.I.P. Dave.
And they brought Talib Kweli out.
Yep.
And I can't believe I didn't even mention any other people. Yasin Bey, Mos Def,
Brooklyn.
People like that. They're all my guys. You know what I mean? Like not my guy. I wish we were friends.
Right.
I feel like they're kindred spirits.
You're from the same ilk.
Yeah, man. Yeah. The Raucous Records, that whole thing, that was like a big part of my childhood too.
Yeah.
But. Oh, I sidetracked for a second. Oh, the crazy. Oh, so we were supposed to be able to meet Meth after the show, but I'm pretty sure, and this was 2nd Street, Harrisburg, I'm pretty sure that guns were drawn outside.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I don't know if shots were fired.
Yeah.
But there was something involving guns and an armed person.
Okay.
That they had to get on the bus to be safe.
Right, like a quick exit.
It was in their general area where it was happening, so we didn't get to meet him.
Okay.
But for me personally, at the Bone Show at the Chameleon Club, it was a sold out show.
Yeah.
And they have their main stage area. They have if you're under 21, you can go up on like the balcony area. Have you ever been to a show there or anything?
Yeah, back in the day.
I can't remember what the capacity is there.
That was one of those good clubs where it was like it's big enough to kind of attract like huge artists, but also like small enough to still be intimate. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that it was close to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ass at the elbows.
Yeah.
For the bone thing.
That's packing it pretty full.
Yeah, man. And when I was performing, up on the balcony, I had a small group of hecklers.
Oh man!
And at the time, when I was performing, I mean, we got to a point where we were performing almost every weekend and stuff in different places, different cities, and trading shows with artists and things like that. I would drink, to deal with the anxiety of it. Mm-hmm. Plus, it took away like we all know what alcohol
that liquid courage.
It would give me that liquid courage where I would feel more confident about what I did. But it was a fine line because if you go too far,
right,
then you're like slurring your words while you rap. And I've done that before. I've crawled on a stage once.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I forgot I was supposed to go on Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, and the reason I found out I was like supposed to go up was that I was out back and there was a swinging door, and as it opened, I heard someone go, "Where's Apollo, son?"
Okay. Like, oh. Last minute kind of deal, like, gotta get up there.
And I was so drunk that I had to crawl up on the stage, and I basically that night it was a bad night for me personally in my personal life.
Yeah.
But it was a great show, man.
Apparently
I did really good.
There you go.
But it was bad. It was bad. I was in a bad mood.
Yeah.
But the people, they loved it. They loved it because I was being honest. You know what I mean? The bottom line is I was having a bad time with someone in my life.
Yeah.
And I let it all out on the stage. To the point.
Cathartic.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of people there that were like going through like breakups and stuff, and I got messages for like years. When are you coming back to such and such?
Oh, nice.
But anyway, at the Bone Show. So I had these hecklers that while I was performing, and up until that point, we were having a great time. Everybody's, it was all love.
Yep.
I started hearing this, "You suck."
The hecklers.
You suck. And I don't know how many it was. It had to have been maybe 4 or 5 kids or something.
Yeah.
And I actually had family up there because I remember when I looked up, my younger cousin was like, "That's my cousin down there. You don't say that."
Yeah.
And so anyway, it was loud enough that it caught my ear in the middle of a song, and I just stopped. And I was like, my DJ, I was like, "Yo, chill." And the crowd is like, it's just loud everywhere, and I just stopped, and I was facing the crowd, but they were off to my right, and I turned and I said, "What did you just say to me?"
Yeah.
Yep. And they were like, "You suck, you suck," and I was like, "Oh. Okay." I was like, "Is this the first time you guys have ever seen me perform?"
Yeah.
And yeah. I said, "Well, there's something that you obviously do not know about me."
Right.
And it's like, I said, "I don't take kindly to people being mean."
Exactly. Right.
And that's me putting it nicely.
Right.
I said, "So we're gonna give you a proper introduction to me as an artist."
Yep.
And to how I work with the crowd.
Yeah.
I said, "So here's what I need everybody to do." I had the entire crowd turn and face them, right, from all directions.
Yeah.
They shined lights on them. And then I put my hand up with my middle finger up.
Yep.
And I said, "And on the count of 3, all together now."
Right. Yep.
I'm going to tell you all to fuck off.
Right. Right. Rightly so.
And I don't know what your format is with
you're good.
Bleep whatever you want.
You're good. You're good.
All right, cool. Because it just sounds, you got to say that. So,
hell yeah.
So that's what I did. And the crowd counted it off with me.
Yeah.
1.
Yep.
2. 3. Fuck
you.
We cocked it back like we were throwing a football.
Yeah.
you, and everybody, they left.
Yeah, yeah.
They left. And I actually ran into the one kid and he apologized.
Ah, nice.
And I was like, it's cool, man. Like, I'm joking. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, it's cool.
Yeah. Just don't do it next time.
Yeah. You want to go up and rap?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you think you can do it better, go up and do it
by
better.
all means, if you don't like what I'm doing, don't listen to it.
Yep.
You know, but you guys were being disrespectful. So that was probably the most, that was like the most, we'll say, toxic thing I got involved with.
Yeah, yeah.
Like at a show. And then, but besides that, man, it's always been some of the best times of my life.
Nice.
So much fun.
Always a good feeling.
So much fun, man. I met so many wonderful, beautiful, kind people.
Absolutely.
Doing them show. And a lot, like, I could show you pictures of full rooms. And if I run into these people, I might not remember them.
Yep.
But once they tell me where it was and normally it'll trigger, I'm getting old, man.
It sort of brings back that time frame.
Yeah, it'll bring it back.
Yeah.
But it, without a doubt, was the most interesting time in my life, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a good time.
Very nice. Very nice. So, yeah, I mean, and you've had a lot of, a lot of material that you've kind of worked on over the years. Like, I know, I kind of remember like each era, each album and each kind of like era along the way. So, we start off with like the Happy Masochist, and then on to Rust and your other albums. Out of your releases that you've had, out of your albums that you've had, which one are you most proud of, and why is that?
So I would say I'm most proud of. There's like 2 points to this. Most proud of project-wise, Falling Becomes Great.
Yeah.
And that's just because it's my only full album.
Yeah.
I was able to put enough energy and put my attention, together enough to put a full album out, which is rare for me. But I always, when I write and I make music, I don't make it from the perspective of I'm going to make an album, a full album. I don't do that. I make it's an overarching theme, a book, if you will, that when I feel that it's done, it's done.
Okay.
So it could be 6 songs, it could be 8 songs, it could be an album.
Right.
Falling Becomes Great was like 20-some songs.
That was a big album.
I mean, I recorded almost 30 songs for that project, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the ones that didn't make it. I don't even remember what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because that, and I felt that for me personally, the Happy Masochist was like a demo tape.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was just learning how to like write songs.
Yeah.
I was writing prior to that for 6 or 7 years, but actually being able to put songs together and stuff, I was just learning.
Yeah.
I was just learning how to make beats, you know? So there's a lot of things I would have done differently. No, I wouldn't. We move on. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
it's a stepping stone.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
then same thing. And then in the Rust, like, oh, okay, I feel like I'm getting a better hang of this thing.
Yeah.
That's the first one where I was like, I feel confident enough that I could hand this to any person and say, you don't necessarily have to like this as a fan, like aesthetically, that it's your sound that you would want to listen to. But you can't tell me my ass can't rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was the first project where I felt confident enough in like my skill.
Yeah.
But then the next little EP I did, the Own Life Sessions with the Boomjacks.
Yes.
I feel that I got better lyrically.
Okay.
And grew in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was getting, most artists kind of like peak and then I felt like I was truly getting better each time.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, Falling Becomes Great was like that pivotal moment where I was like, okay, I think I can do this. I think I could do this for a living.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I could do this for a living.
Yeah.
And that's when like things were starting to like chart on college radio stations and stuff. And even Russ, because people will tell me I'm being modest about that. Projects before that had some cool shit on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does.
It does.
But there's a lot of stuff that I feel is like half finished.
Okay.
Like there's the song I did called Tattoos of You doesn't have a bass line on it.
Right.
There's no bass line on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should have put a bass line on there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah. There's things like that are missing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think that was the moment where I was like, where I was going with that was Rust.
Rust
actually was like up at Scranton University.
Yeah.
Was like at the time, it's been a while. I don't know where they're at now, but at the time it was like the longest number one. It was the hip hop. It held the number one spot on the hip hop charts for the longest time in the history of the school.
Oh wow! Okay,
yeah,
okay,
at
wow,
the time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
So, to its credit,
yeah,
is where I was. Was kind of the point I was making with that. But
yeah, it's sort of like the building blocks along the way, and kind of like getting better with each one, stepping up the game on each one. Yep.
Yeah, but Falling Become Great was really. That was the one where I was like, "It's my baby."
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very good album.
Yeah.
So what are your next plans? Whether it be like musically or creatively, like what do you think is kind of like your next step moving forward about what you want to do next, moving ahead?
Creatively, so I recorded a bunch of songs in like 2018.
Okay.
Cool songs.
Yeah.
Never finished them.
Okay.
There's still stuff that needs recorded. There's still mixing that needs done.
Yeah.
I did put out a 45, like a single.
Yeah. You had like the 2 tracks on there, I think.
There were 2 tracks on there. And the year before that, I put out a song with my buddy Cruz. We had Lady J on it. It was produced by my homie J Boom in Finland.
Yes.
Which was a song paying homage to a previous relationship where she had lost her life to an overdose.
Yeah.
And,
sorry to hear that.
We were trying to help raise some money.
Yeah.
And we did.
Nice.
So that was cool.
Nice.
But those were like the 3 newest songs that we had released.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have released the Here to Stay was the first of the 3.
Yeah.
And that's not on any other project other than
that was like a standalone.
That was like its own thing.
Yeah.
And she had also wanted Cruz and I to do a song together.
Okay.
And we never did.
Okay.
We were introduced by her. I'm not using her name right now.
Right.
Out of respect.
Yeah.
People can figure it out. But anyway, that was our way of saying, look, we did it. We did a song together.
Yep.
And
the wish had come to
fruition. And I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't just for that. I always wanted to be on a song with him, and he's a local guy.
Yeah.
And he's one of the best.
Yeah.
And I still tell it like he hasn't been putting music out, and I'm getting tired of hearing it that he's not putting music out. So
right.
Cruz, if you do listen to this at some point, put your fucking music out, please.
Yep. Time to get back on
it. We need you more than you realize.
Exactly.
So, anyway,
we can will that into existence.
Yeah, for sure. So then I put the single out.
Yeah.
And that was a very humbling experience because I felt like those songs better.
Right.
I'm getting better technically.
Yeah.
My breath control is getting better. I'm learning how to get in the pocket of beats better.
Yeah.
I'm a left-handed person.
Yeah.
So I think differently than most people.
Yeah.
And and I learned about this like through writing songs with other MCs.
Yeah.
I start on like some person will start on the downbeat, this, that.
Yeah.
I start differently.
Yes.
My bars end differently.
Uh-huh.
My choruses and things like that start and end differently.
Right.
When I do a verse, like as a guest, I have to really pay attention so I can fit in the format of how they're doing things. Because if not, it won't sound right.
Yeah.
And I can only credit it to being like a left-handed. Everything I think different. I just think differently.
Right.
I read magazines backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And so I write differently.
Yeah.
And I was so excited because like I paid a violinist to go on that, to go on the song, because I wanted to branch out and not just have like sampled beats. I'm a big advocate for hip hop as music, not pop music, but music.
Music, yeah. Yeah.
So I feel that one of the ways to do that, because all the old school heads, some of them can respect it because they're getting and appreciate it because they're getting royalty checks from the samples. But there's some grumpy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people that'll say it's not music,
Yeah, that's true.
It is.
It is. It absolutely is. Yep.
But I feel like incorporating live instruments and things like that kind of help to bring that credit to it.
Yeah.
So I brought I can't think of her name at the moment, but it doesn't matter because I'm not allowed to use her name. Because she's actually signed to like a major label.
Yeah.
And she's not supposed to be doing violin work for other people while she's signed to this label.
Makes sense.
So she did it because she liked the song.
Right.
So
yeah,
that was cool.
Yeah.
Anytime you meet somebody that is like making their living off music and stuff, and they're like willing to work with you, it just puts like it's a mark on your chalkboard of okay.
Yep.
It helps to validate what you're doing, that it's not just nonsense.
Exactly.
At least to them, or I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. This whole thing is an illusion. This whole world is an illusion.
Oh, I feel you.
Life is art. Life is open to interpretation. My perspective is different than yours, and and vice versa. But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, we all look at things differently. Yep.
Sure.
Yep.
And but what happened was I had been so disconnected from like the fan base and the. If you go on Spotify right now, I think there's like 270 something or other monthly followers.
Yeah.
When we were really doing it, it would have been. I wish Spotify was around then because right now I look pretty bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay.
That's it. Yeah.
That's all right. I'm not. It's not about that for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. The whole numbers game.
I pay attention for when people leave a comment on like a YouTube video and say like, "Hey man, I almost killed myself the other week, and your music kept me from doing that."
Oh yeah,
that's what I listen for.
It's invaluable to hear something like that.
Yeah, that's what I pay attention for.
Yeah.
And touching people's lives.
Yeah.
So when I put that single out, I was hyped.
Yeah.
And I was like, I still have like a mailing list and stuff, but who knows who got rid of what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost 10 years. You know?
Right.
And I utilized things like Bandcamp and so I just reached out on those channels.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what it would do. And, it just didn't really like the people that listened to it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Still, yeah.
They thought it was good.
Yeah.
It got some blogs talking about it and stuff.
Yeah.
But back in the days of things like MySpace,
right,
we were getting thousands of plays a day on there, and you know what I mean. And and now it's like if I look into the stats of the newer, like It Can Get Better and Sunlight on My Porch, that single, I put it out through DistroKid.
Yeah.
It's like a couple hundred plays on each in a couple years, you know what I mean? And that's monetized. So, and I obviously don't do this for the money. I put a lot of money out into it. I've made money. There's times where I've made good money, you know?
Right.
I just a few months ago, man, out of nowhere, I got 2 royalty checks from ASCAP for the song Finding Sunshine from my first album that will be 20 years old.
Yeah.
It probably was thought of 20 years ago, but recording 20 years ago.
Yep.
And it was all international royalties, and it was like a couple $100 out of nowhere.
Wow. Yeah.
If you go on YouTube, that song there's like dance studios over in I believe Japan.
Yeah.
That have dances to that song.
Still, yep.
You know, I know that song was on a platinum album.
Yes.
In Japan.
Right.
At the time, it was the biggest selling hip hop album of all time in Japan.
At that time, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And I made like $250.
Yeah.
You know, for it, which is great.
Hey, yeah.
But I'm a I was on a platinum project.
Yep.
That's cool.
There are
right?
people that can't say that.
That's that same song, and I think it was 2007, was an honorable mention.
Yeah.
In the John Lennon International Songwriting Contest for the category of hip hop.
Yeah.
It didn't win. I think there was the winner, and then there was like a second place, and there was an honorable mention.
Yeah.
So I technically placed third.
Got the bronze
medal.
Worldwide,
you know what I mean? But it says like William Krause, Paula Sun, Finding Sunshine, and props to Jesse Platts and David Van Arsdale, because we wrote that together in terms of the beat.
Yeah.
And I had the song concept, and we actually came up with that whole like chorus and everything at like a house party when we were drunk.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I had my MPC and I was playing the drums on it, and Jesse had his keyboard. He played. I had to actually. What am I talking about? It was here in this studio.
In this one,
we were drunk in this studio.
In this one,
and we just played, and it turned. That's what I had that concept for broken families.
Yeah.
And to bring them together.
Uh-huh.
And we were all just drinking, and that's how we came up with Finding Sunshine.
Nice.
And that song, it's the only song that, went that far, I think.
Yeah.
That was, I guess, was like a hit, if you will.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
If you get on YouTube and you look at comments, there's people saying that, I remember this classic song that was playing at a bar in downtown Tokyo, or you know what I mean?
Yep.
So somewhere somebody knew
it made its mark.
So I'm blessed for that,
Absolutely.
So anyway, where am I headed? With all that said, it was humbling to say, like, dude, you gotta, like, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta start over.
Right.
It's a whole new game now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Things have changed. Like, there's
the
websites
sounds
have
are
changed.
different.
Sounds,
Boom bap is called old school now.
Right.
You know what I mean? The golden age is old man music.
Yeah, we listen to the oldies now.
Like, people, when you tell people that you listen, look at Method Man and Redman.
Yeah.
They did the Summer Jam or whatever.
Oh, yes.
That has all your drill rappers and your whatever they want to call it.
Yeah,
you know
the kind of like the newer styles and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I even find myself being grumpy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Better in my day.
Right.
But those guys were like, we're never doing that show again because we didn't connect with the audience.
Right.
There are people that don't know who the Wu-Tang Clan are.
Oh, yeah, exactly. People that don't know, never heard of Jay-Z or don't know any of the music.
Yeah, man. Like, to them, their goat is Kodak Black.
Right, yep.
Or, look at the It guys now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And props to them. J. Cole has some cool stuff.
J. Cole, yep.
Kendrick Lamar has some cool stuff.
Yep.
Do I think that they're like pinnacle better? No.
Yeah, right.
They're not.
Yeah.
Because they're not.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Understandable, yeah.
And that's not as a knock towards them. They know it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just trying to, they were passed the torch and they have been doing it well.
Yeah.
But
they stand out amongst the masses.
They stand out. They do make some great music.
Yeah.
But you cannot tell me that you put them side by side with Black Thought.
Yeah.
You can't tell me who's not going to rock harder.
Exactly.
I've seen it.
Yep.
There
was just something special about that era.
Yeah, man.
There was so much uniqueness.
Yeah. They were rhyming like the rent was due.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
They were rhyming like if they didn't, someone was going to shoot them out back.
Exactly. Yep.
And now
it seems like it's more of a job.
They say they do that.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. But and that's not. I don't want to badmouth because they're making more money than I am. Not that I care. Like, money's not my motivation in life. But in general, on the scale of success, we use that as our little flags.
Yeah.
Oh, that must mean it's better than you. Well,
because it's making money,
right? But cigarettes are a multi-billion-dollar thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not bettering anyone. They're not bettering my life. I have hyperinflated lungs now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I guess where I'm going with that is, I need to make a decision of what and how I want to go about it.
Yeah.
do I just want to create art to create art and put it out and throw it to whatever little channels that I still have my hands in and allow it to just be what it is? And if something happens, cool. And if it doesn't, cool, whatever. Or like, do I want to start like putting money into taking ads out and pressing vinyl and doing all that? I have friends that are doing that, and it's hard, man.
Yeah, it's hard.
There's very few artists that are like making money.
Yeah.
And touring and would I love to do some shows? Of course, man. I love connecting with people. I love hugging people and being around people and all that. I guess I got to make a decision on how and the what in terms of how far I would want to take it.
How to kind of approach it.
Yeah. But as far as myself as an artist, I will always be tied to Apollo's son.
Right. Absolutely.
I am the Apollo's son. And the reason I say that is because there are now like bands that are like utilizing the name.
Right.
There's a hip hop group in Connecticut that call themselves Apollo's Sons.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
They have an album that they put out that the cover looks like my Rust cover.
Yep.
I've talked about this when I was still really active.
Yeah.
And the one MC like got in my inbox, was like, yo, we ain't. I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know I'm here.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
And your stuff looks eerily similar.
They're biting.
If you go on their Spotify and you look at how they write their AS in their little profile picture.
Yep.
The A looks like how I handwrite my A's.
Yeah.
That have been digitized. There's like quirks that are similar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I don't, they can say it's this and that, and maybe in their minds, cool. But then they have an EP, and I listened to it because I wanted to see if it was good. It's like if you're going to use the name, you better be good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they can rap.
Yeah.
Am I a fan? No. Am I biased because of the name stuff? Yeah,
exactly. It's something you created. It's
man. So, but on that EP, there's a skit, and they subliminally there's an announcer like they're going on stage, right? And they go, "Oh, coming to the stage, Apollo's son."
Yep.
And the dude, the MC in their group, corrects him. It's Apollo's sons, man.
Throwing them shots.
Yeah, like you don't think I don't know what you're talking about?
Right.
So but I don't think they're like all active, all like that so much anymore. I think they do a lot of solo stuff.
Solo stuff. Okay.
But if I were to get back into that realm and like cut an album, I will talk about it.
Right.
Because it's something that was on my mind.
Exactly.
I met with entertainment lawyers. There's a well-known established, I don't know what he's doing now, but up in Harrisburg we had one.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I consulted with him on it.
Yeah.
And there's a few of these bands and stuff that I could have went after him.
Yeah.
Legally. He was like, but what do you want out of it?
Right.
You know what I mean? He's like, you're going to spend more money just to get them to stop using it than you are. Just as long as they're not like stealing your songs, it's up to you. How far do you want to go with it? Yeah. And I was like, I don't have the money to do all that. So it's fine. But similar album cover. Yeah. Similar name. You said something on,
Yep.
So
it sounds like biting to me.
That's biting. That's called biting in the world. I don't know how how old they are.
Yeah.
It's called biting.
That's what we called it.
That's what we call biting. But thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, what's the old phrase? What do they say?
Something is the highest
form of flattery. Yeah.
Is it imitation?
Imitation is the highest form of flattery. There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. So
shit. Anyway, I gotta think about how far I'd want to take it.
Yeah. It's a work in progress. Yeah. All right. Now this is a question here. This is sort of like one that I always kind of end with. This is what is your best memory pertaining to the hip hop culture? This could be a song, a performance, maybe something you heard on the radio, maybe an artist that you remember back in the day, a movie. What's sort of like your best memory that pertains to the hip hop culture?
when I discovered underground hip hop,
Okay.
indie hip hop,
Right.
because up until that point it was dictated by what I either heard through friends, but we all were basically controlled by what would be on TV, and there were dope artists on TV.
Right.
You know, there were dope artists on the radio.
Yeah.
And we didn't. What was it? We could get like 92Q or something.
92Q in Baltimore.
Right?
Yep.
And I think they would play some stuff that would, you know.
Yeah.
But when I discovered indie hip hop, and the
Yeah.
song that I discovered is called "Sad Clown" by
Okay.
Atmosphere off of their Sad Clown Bad Dub like mixtape series.
Oh, okay.
And that song changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it was the first time where I heard like an artist like bleeding on their sleeve. And the stuff that he was saying, I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know? And in the beginning, it's like, you know, what is a clown? Who's the fool? but Slug, the one line that stands out to me, and I still use it in conversation if needed, is he says, humans, I can't accept them.
Okay.
Trying to understand, or he said, I'm trying to figure out what fuels them and their essence.
Okay.
I'm looking for some leverage, catch up, try to catch me, focus, to press here to make you happy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Shit, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But when he said humans, I can't accept them.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's like a different way of thinking. It's like it's introspective. It's very.
So then
like,
I dove into their project.
Yeah.
And then there was a song on that Sad Clown called "The River."
Yeah.
And then I learned about Lucy Ford, and then I started finding out who's this guy, Aesop Rock, who's Sage Idea, Brother Ali, Blueprint, and you just branch out. Def Jux, LP, who is now who is super successful now.
Oh, absolutely.
So when I if I talk to people about, they'll be like, you ever hear Run the Jewels?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, hey, I was listening to that long time
before. Bro, have you ever heard of Company Flow?
Company Flow, yeah.
Fun Crusher Plus?
Yep.
Yes, I know who they are. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And I am so thankful that those guys are finally like getting their just due. Like Killer Mike just won a Grammy.
Yes.
Good. Give him 10 more.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He deserves it.
Yeah, man. Killer Mike's a beast.
Oh, incredible.
You know?
Incredible.
And he's a smart businessman.
Yep.
You know, he gives back to his community.
Yep. Doing it for all the right reasons.
Yeah, man. He is an example of where, as a culture, where hip hop needs to go.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
We need to be leaders and good examples, positive examples.
Yeah.
You know, it's not cool being an idiot.
Right.
All
the ignorance
it's not
out there.
cool being an idiot. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yep.
And it doesn't take me being 41 years old to know that. I knew that when I was young.
Yeah.
You know, but don't get me wrong, have fun.
Right.
You know, I've done some really dumb things in my life. Okay. Yeah. So I'm speaking to me too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we are in trouble as a world.
Yeah.
And from an artistic standpoint and the being a part of, being a guest in the house of hip hop.
Yeah.
And I have been welcomed into that house.
Yeah.
You know, by some of the legends.
They
told me it's okay that I'm here.
Yep.
You know, so we're not going to go into all that, but it is imperative as artists that we transmute darkness into light.
Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
You know? And so discovering Atmosphere and independent hip hop.
Yeah.
And underground hip hop.
Yep.
Was like the pivot.
Yep, it's like a whole other world.
It was a whole other thing. Scribble jam, freestyle battles, underground. Like, I knew about somebody like Eminem before
the masses.
Yeah, like when Infinite was out, I knew about it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I knew. It wasn't Slim Shady, We Go Back and all this.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Eminem was a battler.
Right.
When I went to Scribble Jam. I had a booth at Scribble Jam selling my albums with my friends, and I'm talking to Sean Price, rest in peace, you know, running into Mac Lethal, running into all these different, you know,
Yeah.
These different people, and it just changed my world.
Yeah.
To the point where I shunned a lot of stuff. There was a lot of, I was like, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't need music for entertainment anymore.
Right.
Because over here it's food for my soul.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And and I just ran with it. But so I would say that was probably because I was also like, it was like the really starting to use the internet.
Yeah.
We were around before the internet. I mean,
that was sort of like that beginning stage.
Yeah, so like 97 maybe?
Yeah.
Is when we could really discover.
Once it really started blowing up and we could kind of find everything.
And that was it, man. And I was going to shows and I was a backpacker underground dude, you know what I mean? And it changed the whole course of my life from how I think.
Yep.
It led me to be a more open-minded person.
Yep.
It led me to be a more accepting person.
Yes.
Of others.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Because it's like I said earlier, everybody has a different perspective on how this thing that we're perceiving around us really exists to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How we operate inside
and
of
it's
all
not
this.
up to me to tell you or anyone.
Yeah.
What that's supposed to look like to you.
Right.
But as long as we're, my general rule of thumb is do no harm.
Right.
To the best of our ability.
Right.
Sometimes people get smacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying I'm not saying that like cool guy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hurt anyone, but I've done it.
Right.
I've hurt people bad,
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that, but it's just it's so important, man. To just don't be a shithead.
Exactly. Yeah, there's enough of them in the world. We don't need any more.
Yeah, man. We look around and we're not headed in a good direction.
Nah.
I think people are starting to see that,
Yeah.
So
we got to kind of bring it back around again.
Yeah. So as artists, it's just I think it's important for us to help steer that ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because that's what kids are the future.
Yep.
Right. And they're little sponges that absorb, and it's up to us.
Yeah.
To help guide them in a positive way.
Yep. Show the next generation.
But yeah, man, underground indie hip hop was like, that was it. That was it.
It's going to live forever.
And now, it's all kind of like meshed. There isn't really like a definitive underground so much anymore.
Yeah. The line has kind of been blurred a little bit.
I don't even know what I would like. I don't know, man. I know I'm really excited that the Cunning Linguists just dropped a new song.
Okay.
I haven't heard them in a while. They're in my top.
I remember that name
groups.
from back in the day.
Yeah, Cunning Linguists, man. If you haven't listened to it, their album A Piece of Strange.
Okay.
Chef's kiss, bro. I'm telling you.
I'll have to check that out.
It is one of those. It's like, like when Outkast had their run with ATLiens, Aquemini, right in that pocket.
Yep.
Piece of Strange by Cunning Linguists.
Okay.
Is like a down south classic.
Classic. Yeah.
And I'm just really excited that they put a new song out and it's good.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to hear that. But
underground is still kicking it.
But I don't think even they call I don't know, it's just music now.
Everything's just sort of what it is now.
Yeah, and there's so many artists that I hear now that I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
And then I'll go on Spotify and look them up, and it doesn't matter if I'm a fan of it or not.
Yeah.
And they'll have like 1 million followers. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Who? What?
Yeah.
And I'll talk to younger people.
Yep.
And they'll tell me what they're listening to, and they'll refer to stuff as underground. And it's, to me, I'm like, no, that's not underground.
Right.
So like it's all just kind of merging together into this big ball of fuckery that no one knows what to do with.
Exactly.
It's the most popular genre in the world in terms of music now.
Yeah.
So much for that. It's not a music thing, guys.
Yeah. I always feel like the cream's going to rise to the top. You know what I mean? The ones that are really talented, the ones that are, kind of doing their own thing, doing something different, they're going to kind of rise.
Yeah. So like out of the where we're at 2024,
yep.
The ones that are at the top, they're there.
Yeah.
They should be.
Yeah.
Minus Drake. I don't like Drake.
No love for Drake.
No love for Drake. No, because he's an actor.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Wheelchair Jimmy.
I'm not saying he can't rap, because he can. But my point is, he is an entertainer.
Yeah.
So he wanted to do. He will search for whatever that will work.
Yeah.
So he can entertain.
Okay.
Acting. He would have been a comedian if he could.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's just people that are like, I just need to be famous and I need to be a part of it, and that's what I'm going to do.
Whatever I need to do by any means.
He's one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that from him.
Yeah.
But I'm not a fan.
Not
you know
a
what
fan.
I mean?
Yeah.
But like J. Cole, Kendrick.
Yep.
They're top tier artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not taking that away from them.
Yeah.
Can I sit down and say like, oh man, that album start to finish is no.
Yeah.
But they got some joints that I'm like, that's it. You know, like Kendrick Lamar off of what was his seminal one? To Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Right?
Yeah.
Thundercat on it. I know like all the jazz heads love it and all that.
Yeah.
But like the song on there, it's like Blacker the Barrier or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Love that joint.
Yeah, I know what
it.
you mean.
I love that joint. You know what I mean? But then there's other stuff where I'm like, why are you making your voice? Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
You
Like
know
what's
what I mean?
what's with the?
And I knew who Kendrick Lamar was when he was like putting out that, what was that song? High Power and like 08, 09 stuff. Like he's an underground cat.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was a West Coast underground cat.
Right.
Know?
Yep.
Same thing like Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey,
you know what I mean?
Yep. Rest in peace, Nipsey.
Yeah, man. Like, so I respect everyone for what they do. Yeah. You know, because it's not up to me to determine how they want to do things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know a lot of them have, puppet masters too.
Oh, yep, absolutely.
But that's another. We'll talk about that another time.
Well, this has been a great conversation, man. This is awesome. One last thing we want to have you do is just anything that you have, any way to hit you up, find your music. What's the best way to get in contact with you? How do we reach out and then we find you?
Messenger pigeon.
Okay.
Yeah, and flares.
Flares.
Nah, I still have like all my music is up on ApolloSun.com.
Okay, ApolloSun.com.
It's all free.
Yep.
It's all like name your own price. If you want to exchange fiat currency for that, I don't need it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I mean,
if you so choose.
If you were to choose to do that, I like tasty treats too. So, if somebody hit me up and was like, I'll bake you s'mores brownies.
Yeah.
For a copy of your album, I'll do that.
There
you know
we
what
go.
I mean?
Yeah.
I love bartering, dude. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, ApolloSun.com, all one word.
Yep.
You can get to that music there. And if you just Apollo Sun Hip Hop on, I didn't keep joining. I'm not a TikTok person.
It's hard to get into the new ones.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and that's about it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I'm trying to draw back.
Yeah.
I tell you what, find me in person and give me a hug. That's the best way to connect.
That's the best way. Yeah. That's the best way.
Yep. Chest to chest, heart to heart, 30 seconds or more. It doesn't count.
Yep.
And we'll breathe together.
That's right.
So,
that's right. All right.
Well, thank you, man.
Thank you very much. ApolloSun. Clap it up. All right. So next we'll go into Don't Hate, Congratulate. This is a segment, as you know, from the first episode where we like to kind of give credit to somebody that needs credit, or somebody that, we like to pay homage to, give them their flowers while they're here. I know that term is overused a lot, but that's like sort of like what I think of when I.
It's also not people though; it could be things.
Yeah, it could be things. Organizations.
Right.
Anything. So, Don't Hate, Congratulate. Amanda, do you have one for Don't Hate, Congratulate?
I say bus drivers.
Bus drivers? Okay.
Yes, because they gotta drive our kids around while they're going crazy on the bus. They need to keep our kids safe, so if it wasn't for them, kids be walking to school.
And they also have to,
so
they have to deal with crazy people that don't stop when they put the lights on, and
that makes me so mad when people just go through the red light. It's like, There's kids getting off the bus.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, holy cow.
Yeah, yeah. They definitely don't get enough credit. I think with especially like the elementary school kids, the ones the younger ones, because I know that sometimes they're like a little more active, a little more crazy sometimes on the bus. So yeah, putting up with that, getting everyone safely from here to there, definitely good there.
Yes. I do have to say sometimes they act a little crazy when they drive, but
yeah,
I can see why. But yeah, I've seen a couple run some red lights.
Yeah, true. All right, Lori, do you have one for Don't Hate, Congratulate?
I think something's outside. This is the lights just turned on, and I heard a. I don't know if it was Teddy, but that was odd. Anyway, this is what happens when you're recording.
All right.
Anyway, so I do. It's not really a person or anything like that, but like there's controversy, or not controversy, but people are like talking about like, the convenience stores around and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Don't Hate, Congratulate, Wawa is finally coming to our area.
Let's clap it up for that. Clap it up for Wawa.
More options, more choices. Anybody wants to sit there and say what their favorite convenience store is, but I'm excited to have Wawa.
Yeah.
Just, another convenience store to test out.
I love Wawa. When I lived out in Westchester.
Yeah.
We had Wawas.
Driving down to the beach all the time, Wawa, stopping at the Wawa.
Yes.
I feel like especially around here, there's a big convenience store war kind of deal that goes on. I feel like a lot of people like have their views on which one they like better, which one they don't.
It's a Pennsylvania thing with Sheetz and Wawa.
Sheetz and Wawa,
because Sheetz is more west and Wawa is more east.
Right, yeah.
Type of thing, but why don't we have both? We have Royal Farms. Obviously, Rutter's locally, and Rutter's is starting to expand into Virginia, Maryland.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, definitely with Wawa around here I think will fit in nicely. I think a lot of people will hit that up, definitely. And it's been a long time since I've had stuff from there, but every time I've had something I remember it being really good. So, and I'm a fan of Sheetz too. I like Sheetz.
Yeah.
I think they're really good. I think this will be good competition for the both of them.
So I know people are like, oh no, Wawa, I love Sheetz, but you know what? Congratulate Wawa for coming in.
Right.
And let's see how they do.
Clap it up for Wawa again.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna give congratulations. Don't hate, congratulate. I'm gonna go with a rapper by the name of Jay Royale. This guy is from Baltimore. This is one of the best rappers I've seen in a long time. A lot of people complain about how rap doesn't sound the same. It doesn't sound like it used to. If you listen to Jay Royale, you will never say that sentence ever again. Like, his stuff is so good, and he's so consistent with it, that I feel like he needs to get the congratulations. Like, his work is impeccable.
I know, you always, like, just sitting around here, you always mention him.
Yeah.
So,
a huge fan of his. Like, he has he's got a few albums. There's like a trilogy that he has out that was sort of like my first kind of introduction to him. I first heard him on the Ivory Stoop. That was like the first album that I kind of was put onto. He has stuff before that, and that's definitely worth checking out. But the Ivory Stoop is unreal good. It's so solid of an album. These albums are like almost flawless. Like, you listen to that one. The second one is called the Baltimore Housing Project. Fantastic listen from front to back. And then Criminal Discourse is the third one. That one is incredible as well. That one almost sounds like the soundtrack to The Wire, like that the show The Wire.
Yeah.
If it had a soundtrack, that would be the soundtrack to it.
That's cool.
It's unreal good. The guy, like, his rhymes are so good. The beats that he gets from his crew and from other people, he selects the best beats out there. It sounds like 90s hip hop. It's 90s boom bap hip hop at its finest.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he's consistent too. Like, the guy never loses. He never misses. It's incredible. His latest one that he has is called the Bay Gaddy Soup Kitchen. That's like it was a spot in Baltimore, right?
Okay.
That album is fantastic as well. I just can't say enough good things about him. Like, he is somebody that you definitely have to check out if you're a hip hop head. Check out Jay Royale from Baltimore. He's all over the place.
Cool.
Bandcamp, YouTube. Look him up.
Awesome.
Buy everything, too. Buy everything. You won't be sorry. All right.
Clap it up for him.
Clap it up. Clap it up for that. For all of them.
Yes.
All of that. All right, so this brings us to the mailbag. With the mailbag, we still are trying to dig our way out of the mountain of mail that we have.
Oh, wait, here, I think I have some. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me dig.
We got it, yeah, we're working with a few here.
Wait, hold on. I know we have some people on the subscription on YouTube that actually had some stuff to say.
Okay.
So, as if I can find it here really quick. I'm not prepared. But so I have to go back to the whole credit, edit, debit that we had last podcast.
Right.
And it was, let's talk about it.
Yeah, we were talking about, what
pickles.
was it?
The pickles.
We seem to have struck a nerve with pickles.
A lot of people have sat there and said, either hate or they love it. So what team are you on? I mean, let us know if y'all guys are listening. Let us know. Write some stuff on, drop some comments. That's literally our mailbag.
Right.
Is the comments.
Right.
So we already have somebody that sat there and said they hated pickles.
Right.
I hate pickles.
That was a smart listener right there. Whoever said that's a smart listener.
Team no pickles.
No, I love pickles. So drop us a line. Let us know why you love pickles, why you hate pickles. It's something to discuss. And also, if there's anything else that you would like to hear us say, talk about, credit, edit, debit, anything that you guys want us to talk about. If you know there's a topic, if you like something we said, if you don't like something we said, drop us a line. This is how we get better.
Right. Yeah, let us know. And if you have questions too, ask us questions. I have about 7 or 8 storage units that I have rented out that are full of the letters. So we're still going through those.
Good Lord.
I'm still going through this. I may have to rent 1 or 2 more with the amount that are coming in. But ask us questions. Like, if you have a question about anything, if you want to know, like, what I ate for breakfast, if you want to know...
Nobody wants to know what you eat for breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you got. If you got a question for any of us or about the show or anything, let us know, and we'll answer it, unless you eat pickles, and then we will ban you from listening.
Oh, stop. I'm here, so any pickle lovers, y'all can come with me. So, but yeah, like, this is also just for you guys to listen to us banter about random stuff. That's what this podcast is kind of about, plus JP's rules, which everybody loves.
Refer to episode 1.
Right.
But yeah, this conversation includes every one of you out there. So if you say something, literally say something. And
let us know
and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. So that brings us to the final segment. Let us put you on. We are going to put you on with our recommendations here. We got some good stuff that we can put you on to, things that you need in your life.
Yes.
So, who wants to start? I got one. I got a good one.
Go for it.
I'll start it off here.
I was gonna say I have one too.
I got an album by an artist named Pace One. Okay, he's a rapper out of New Jersey. He's been around a long time. He was in the Outsiders. That was a group back in the day, the Outsiders. Right. He is awesome rhymer from New Jersey. Like I said, he has a new album called Night and Day. Just came out, I want to say end of July, I think, maybe somewhere around there that this album came out, Night and Day. It's a double album. The album is fantastic. If you are a hip hop purist, I guess I'll say, somebody that wants good rhymes, fun rhymes, storytelling rhymes, nothing too crazy. It's not lyrical, miracle, spiritual miracles on there. It's straightforward rhymes. It's just great music. It's a very good listen from beginning to end. Like, there's no skips on it at all. Cool. Plays through awesome. So, yeah, Pace One, Night and Day. Definitely got to check that album out.
Awesome. Amanda?
Mine is not a music recommendation.
It's all good.
Mine is a food recommendation.
Ooh, okay.
If you are ever in Atlantic City,
Yes, I know where this is going.
you have to go to Wingcraft.
Yes,
and it's right there in the.
right in the outlets where they have the
I was
outlets.
gonna say I saw you guys posted that on Facebook that you guys on the way back.
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Right.
That place is fantastic.
Oh my
I
God.
did check out the pictures and it looks amazing. It looks
is
really
awesome.
cool.
I've only had the wings there. They are delicious.
To
but
die for.
They have a nice beer selection
Yep.
and stuff too. Obviously
a lot of wing sauce selections.
There's not a ton. They had a few. There's enough. I'd say about 6 or 8 or so, I think. But it's they're everything I've had is good.
What did you guys get?
I got I think it was basically a sweet heat kind of deal, hot honey, I think it was called.
Mine
hot
was
honey.
a honey barbecue.
Yeah, honey barbecue.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I would say almost
I ordered
the best.
an extra order just to bring home. So
wow.
Yeah, they were slamming.
I'm like,
No, that's awesome. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
It was
I was kind of jealous.
Well, next year.
That's right.
So.
And unfortunately, mine is also food.
Nice.
This is local, so if you guys are listening from York, Red Lion, York, Leaders Heights, if y'all are from Red Lion or have been in York, there is this amazing place called Ricoto, and it is Peruvian, and now they're starting to get into some Mexican stuff, but their empanadas are to die for.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they're so good. The place is actually, the Red Lion place is right behind my dad's house, so
nice.
we can walk there from my dad's place, so when I go over there, we just kind of go get some takeout. They actually expanded that place, so they're in actually 2 units, so it's a massive place that you can sit down. They have a little, porch area that you can sit out.
That's pretty cool.
Marinated chicken, marinated beef.
That sounds slamming.
Salads that you can get the stuff on. There's bowls. So they ended up actually opening a little space down in Leaders Heights near First Walk. Which is a Chinese place, but it's across from Leaders Heights Vet, where I take my dog. Oh, okay. So I ended up going to pick up some of her medicine the other day, and I was like, oh man, there used to be a taco house here. But then I was like, oh, they closed that down, but now there's a little Ricoto satellite
another
place.
little spot.
So I was like, oh, I wonder if they have those empanadas. So I walked in, and it's a decent place. It goes all the way back to the back, so you can sit down and eat.
Nice.
But their selection has grown, and I got some empanadas. I brought them over to your place. The last time and sat there and
pretty good.
I know I let you guys taste them. I know it's a little, but if you like,
it was good.
If you like flavor.
I'm plain Jane. I'm not so.
Yeah,
they were a little spicy.
I tried it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad though. They were good.
Spice is nice though, so to me at least. But
and that's fine.
That's fine.
But I definitely try it if you haven't tried Ricoto. It's coming towards York a little bit more with the Leaders Heights location. So try it out.
Yeah, definitely try it out. Try it out.
Awesome.
All right. And with that is a wrap on episode 2. So we will see y'all next time.